matchup against the Killeen Kangaroos, with both teams looking to bounce back from the opening season losses and to try to gain some momentum in their final dress rehearsal before the gauntlet of a district schedule for both teams. Here we are, Nick, with the Vista Ridge Rangers trying to get that, I guess I mentioned, get that momentum going. It's Nicholas Peters as color, Gabriel Gomez is doing producer, Rosie Vega, the calling administrator. I'm Johnny Baeza. And, well, Nick, here we are, second game of the season, and Vista Ridge looking for a little bit of improvement. Absolutely,
especially after playing 3 very strong quarters, just a week ago, and we know they came away obviously incredibly disappointed after the loss to the cross-city rivals in Rouse, you could say, or across the freeway rivals in Rouse, and hoping to bounce back tonight with a much different look than what we experienced last week.
Yeah, there's always something constructive to come out of a loss. The coaches always want to talk about the positive and just kind of work around and try to improve on things. So as far as the negative side goes, but Vista Ridge, as you mentioned, played great for 3 quarters. They had the ball inside the 30-yard line 3 times in the second quarter against Rouse. They were able to score 1 touchdown, Mayberry's touchdown run, but then 2 costly turnovers. It could have been a 21-3 game at the half instead of 6-3.
And it was a story of mistakes. The 2 costly turnovers, as you point out, some costly penalties as well, even late in the game, that allowed one Rouse drive to continue on a 4th down stop or a forced 4th down, and ultimately costing the game and experiencing some additional issues with some injuries still on the defensive side. And that ultimately, it opened some holes for the Rouse Raiders.
And we apologize for that. We got some crowd mic issues here at the stadium here in Killeen at Leo Buckley, so we'll try to work through those throughout the broadcast. And then Killeen comes in, also losing a tough one to Stony Point, 21-14 last week, and also the same thing. In the first half, it was a 13-7 game, I believe, and then in the third quarter, they take a lead as they drive 99 yards, using 6 minutes of the clock to take a 14-13 lead, and then a mistake on the special teams, giving Stony great field position. They lose it 21-14.
Yeah, and we didn't know coming into the season what to necessarily expect from this Killeen Kangaroo football team. We kind of expected Stony Point, obviously, in our district. We follow them closely. We know exactly what they're going to bring to the table, and we kind of assumed, hey, that's probably a win for Stony Point. But to your point, Killeen played them to the wire, just a costly mistake that ultimately cost them the game.
And this is Coach Rodney Vincent's first time matching up against the Killeen Kangaroos as a Vista Ridge Rangers coach. So first ever meeting between these 2 teams. And Coach Searcia, this is his 4th year here, I believe, and these are the freshmen the seniors that he has now. He taught them as freshmen, so a lot is expected for Killeen here, and they expect to make the playoffs this year after narrowly missing them last year. So they are a hungry squad.
Absolutely. Very hungry squad, and an interesting squad to follow and watch. They're going to bring an entirely different offense than what we've seen the past couple of years, at least for Vista Ridge's opponents. It's going to be a spread offense. They like to throw the ball around. They like to do the dink and duck pass, almost a lot like an Oregon Duck football approach. And they've got some big receivers that they are going to look to take advantage of against some of the smaller DBs that Vista Ridge has.
Yeah, they do have a big receiver at a 6 foot, 5-inch, I believe, receiver in Nate Camper, 6'6", 195-pounder Nate Camper, a junior. So defensive backs will be tested. We spoke with Coach Vincent prior to tonight's game. So let's see what Coach Vincent has to say about tonight's game as Vista Ridge Rangers football right here on KMAX Sports.
Johnny Baeza with Coach Rodney Vincent here of the Vista Ridge Rangers. And Coach, a very, very short week. And last week, 34-13 loss to Rouse Raiders, but there's always something constructive coming out of a loss as it was on Friday night. So your team looked good for 3 quarters. It's just that 4th quarter that you like to forget.
Well, JB, I think if early in that game and throughout the game, we had a couple drives that we had offensively that were inside the 20, and we turned the ball over inside the 20, and if we finish those drives and score, we have the ability to go up 21-3 at some point, and the game's a whole different ball game throughout the mix. But I was proud of our kids. They played hard for 4 quarters and just weren't able to finish some drives, and towards the end we tried doing some things, JB, to try to help us get some other opportunities, and gave our defense short fields, and that's kind of why the game got the way it did.
And this short week, is there any different adjustments that you have to make or anything to try to correct some of those, the turnovers, the penalties, and just to get your team again ready for next week, which is for the start of the real season?
Yes, sir. There, the thing that we talked to our team about a lot was the hidden yardage, because that's pretty much what got us the other night, whether it's a mistake on special teams, whether it's turning the football over, whether it's a penalty. There's going to be penalties, JB, but the ones that we can actually control, those are the ones that we focus really hard on, the pre-snap penalties or post-snap penalties, those type things. So that was our focus this week, is to get better on those things. Kids had a great week of work. It's been a while since we've had a Thursday night game, and so getting our kids prepared in a short amount of time, we have to adjust. You have to try to get a lot of things in 3 days that you normally have 4 days to do. But our kids handled it really well, and I think they're focused on the things that they need to improve on.
And another road trip here to start the season, the second one of 3 here. And you're facing a team you've never faced before, the Killeen Kangaroos. So they got a lot of size, but what other type of problems do they present for you and challenges?
Well, I've faced Killeen when I've been at other schools, and we faced Harker Heights a long time ago. But the thing with the Killeen schools is just, in Killeen High School in particular, they're athletic. They do have some history, being the original school there. So they have some athleticism. They've got that tradition, and so the biggest issue I feel like with them is just their athleticism. They have guys that can make big plays, big chunks of yardage, JB, and so the biggest thing for us on both sides of the football is making sure that we can minimize and eliminate the big plays.
And just real quick, Coach, that's all I have for you this afternoon, for today. So is there any shout-outs, anything, any other people you want to recognize here?
No, just really proud of our kids for the way that they have worked. And, JB, we look at ourselves on film every Saturday, and the kids set 3 new goals and things they want to improve on, and I was proud of them for going out and going to work on it. Also, to our sports medicine staff, we went through a tough stretch in that first ball game, and they have worked fantastic with us this week to try to help our kids from a sports medicine perspective too. So I know that's the crew that nobody thinks about sometimes, but they work really hard, and I appreciate them.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you and your staff and everything you do for Vista Ridge High School, and just have a safe trip up there to Killeen. I know it's not a long way there, but we're anticipating some weather, so be safe.
Yes, sir. Thank you, JB.
Well, thank you, Coach. Thank you for joining us here on pregame. Coach Rodney Vincent of the Vista Ridge Rangers. We'll be back with more Vista Ridge Rangers football right here on the KMX Sports Vype Media Network.
In the battle for barbecue supremacy, warriors pit prime meats, secret sauces, and recipes against one another. Yet one champion stands alone. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, in the modern-day vernacular, where bad means good. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue has the worst barbecue in Texas.
Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes is from right here in Austin. As you know, Austin has several fine burger establishments. That's why we're especially proud that Zagat has rated Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes the #1 burger in Austin. So is it Zagat or Zagat's? Like I said, there are several good burger places here in Austin. But as you know, there's good, and then there's Mighty Fine. Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes.
KMX Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, think of the state capitol if it was full of sports. I mean, the Rotunda's more than large enough for basketball or volleyball, and let's face it, anything we do in there is going to be better than what's going on right now. Plus, those guys only work every 2 years. We bring your teams to you every doggone day. bringing your teams to you since 2003. We are KMAX Sports. KMAX Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, imagine a downtown condo tower if it was full of sports. But first we'll have to evict the hipsters. Not cool, man. Not cool. But don't worry about them. They won't starve. There's plenty of food trailers left on Rainy Street. Oh, what's that? They ran them all out? Aw, poor hipsters. Bringing your teams to you since 2003. We are KMAX Sports. KMAX Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, think of the Congress Avenue Bridge Bat Colony. Okay, folks, here they come. They're flying out from under the bridge. They appear to be Louisville Sluggers, and they're falling. Oh, the humanity. As God is my witness, I thought bats could fly. Bringing your teams to you since 2003 without dropping the ball or the bat. We are KMAX Sports.
From West Texas all the way to the Bayou and all points in between.
I saw miles and miles of Texas.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, bringing your teams to you.
Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes is from right here in Austin. As you know, Austin has several fine burger establishments. That's why we're especially proud that Zagat has rated Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes the #1 burger in Austin. So is it Zagat or Zagat's? Like I said, there are several good burger places here in Austin. But as you know, there's good and then there's Mighty Fine. Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes.
And welcome back to Leo Buckley Stadium, Killeen, Texas. Johnny Baez and Nicholas Peters, Rosie Vega, and Gabriel Gomez here with Rangers football, sponsored by John Elder Mitsubishi Motors, the dealer for the people. And we'd like to thank also the rest of the Vista Ridge sponsors: is Foxhole Culinary Tavern, Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes, Randall Jones and Associates, Schlotsky's Summer Moon Coffee, Vista Ridge Family Dentistry, and Zaxby's, excuse me. And as we take a look back at Friday night's 13-6-8 action, Nick, there's only one team that kind of really took hold of Central Texas and sent out a pretty good message. That was the Vandergrift Vipers with a 20. They were leading 22-0 in that game. They beat Cedar Park, who was ranked in the top 10 coming in, 29-17. So a pretty big message by the Vipers.
Absolutely, and I don't think either you nor I were completely shocked by that. When we knew going into the season, obviously Cedar Park, there's a lot of hoopla around that football team, and they've earned that. I don't think anyone really knew what to expect with Vandergrift. Some key losses on offense and defense, but it's almost on a season-by-season basis right now with the Vipers.
Yeah, Drew Dawson, the son of Phil Dawson, I believe, the kicker for the Arizona Cardinals, came in and threw 3 touchdown passes, and the defense actually forced Cedar Park to make a quarterback change as Fiala wasn't being very productive, and yet up 22-0, they win 29-17. Leander handed Pflugerville Weiss their first ever loss. Their first of Weiss's was Pflugerville Weiss first district, first varsity game, 23-3. Hendrickson did what we thought Hendrickson was going to do, 56-7 over Texarkana. Texas High. Round Rock over Hiker Heights, 36-7. Del Valle and McNeil had a close one, 36-33. McNeil will be Vista Ridge next appointment. Cedar Ridge, 45-25 loss to Temple. Was that a surprise for you?
It was for me going into the season. I think everyone was kind of looking at Cedar Ridge as potentially either the second or third team headed to the playoffs this season within the district. But that's not to say anything negative against Temple. I know that the Temple Wildcats are always going to put a very tough team together, but I expected that game to be a bit closer and even potentially a Cedar Ridge victory. And
Temple is in the same district as the Killeen Kangaroos that we're going to face here tonight. And then Westwood Martinez is the new quarterback stepping in for the Westwood Warriors, and he had a pretty good game as they beat Eastview and Georgetown 38-21. And there's a lot of Thursday night action here in 13-6A. We got Vista Ridge again, the Killeen game here. Smithson Valley is at Hendrickson. Belton is at Round Rock, and another good game for Cedar Park. Cedar Park is at Cedar Ridge over at they're at the Kelly Reeves Athletic Center. So opportunity for both teams to bounce back.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting response, or to see what kind of response they have if Cedar Ridge can bounce back. One of those teams is going to end up 0-2 after tonight, and Cedar Park going into that game, they probably aren't happy with the way they played last week. I know Cedar Ridge certainly isn't, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I know we'll be keeping a close eye on it for our listeners tonight.
Yeah, and Cedar Park and Cedar Ridge is in kind of an urgency mode too, as this is their final dress rehearsal also for district play next week. But Cedar Park actually has 2 more games to get ready for the district. I believe it's 11-5A or 13-5A, and the Division 1, I believe, 11-5A or 13-5A, not sure. But that's 11-5A Division 1, excuse me. So, again, some big-time action here on Thursday night. That game's on KMAX Sports. So is the Round Rock Belton game, which I believe it's right now it's delayed by lightning in the Round Rock area. And looking at the horizon here, we're expecting some rain, and doesn't seem like there's a lot of lightning, but this game is also in that little range of it being delayed.
Yeah, I know you and I were both concerned about that coming in, and obviously on the drive up here from the Round Rock area. So there are a couple of cells headed our direction. We're hoping they take a turn towards the east, so they can avoid the Killeen area, and we can get this game all the way through in a standard timeline. But there is a possibility for those of you who are listening that we may end up going into delay at some point tonight.
And so kickoff is set for 10 minutes from now at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow night, it's going to be Austin High at Westwood, Killeen Ellison at Vandergrift. McNeil is also going to be at Leander Glen, which is going to be their first varsity game there as they play at Gupton Stadium. Pflugerville is at Leander, and Stony Point will be here at Harker Heights, just across the freeway here in Killeen. So a lot of action here. There's going to be a lot of action in KMAX Sports, and we're about 10 minutes away from kickoff, Gabriel, so if you're ready, we can take another short break as you're listening to Vista Ridge Rangers football, sponsored by John Elder Mitsubishi, right here on the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes is from right here in Austin. As you know, Austin has several fine burger establishments. That's why we're especially proud that Zagat has rated Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes the #1 burger in Austin. So is it Zagat or Zagat's? Like I said, there are several good burger places here in Austin. But as you know, there's good, and then there's Mighty Fine. Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes.
In the battle for barbecue supremacy, warriors pit prime meats, secret sauces, and recipes against one another. Yet one champion stands alone. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, in the modern-day vernacular, where bad means good. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue has the worst barbecue in Texas.
And back at the Old Buckle Stadium, Johnny Baez and Nicholas Peters, Gabriel Gomez and Rosie Vega. Vista Ridge Rangers football right here on KMAX Sports Vype Media Network. And tonight, looking to correct, I know Vista Ridge had some injuries from last week, as there's some guys had to be helped off the field. So a big thing tonight is going to be Vista Ridge health, and can the backup step up, and I believe also avoid the turnovers and the penalties from last week. But as you heard, Coach, it's the penalties that they can control. That's the ones they have to improve on.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you look at last week and what you expect for this week, I mean, the defensive stand that we experienced from Vista Ridge last week was phenomenal. Specifically on the right side, on the defensive line, they were getting quite a bit of pass rush between Luke Horn and Darian Carter. You're going to hear those names hopefully quite a bit this evening and the rest of the season. And at the defensive back position, Naquan White had a very good game. And was playing a great role as a strong safety, and sort of disrupted any pass options that Rouse wanted to bring to the table. And granted, they're predominantly a running team. Tonight, a much different look. It's going to be all about disruption from Vista Ridge's defense. If Killeen gets into a rhythm on offense with the short dunking passes, the quick outs, and the sprints, it could be a long night for the Vista Ridge Rangers. But if they can create some issues, force some turnovers early, we could experience another defensive stand, another defensive look like we saw last week.
And Vista Ridge, Drew Cantu threw for 81 yards last week, 8 for 21 with a touchdown and interception. Ty Mayberry, he only had 13 carries and had 141 yards. He averaged 10 yards a carry last year for Hayes, and brought to a 1,000-yard season last. And yes, last week For 3 quarters, he was, Vista Ridge was dominating, but he wasn't on the field in the fourth quarters. The Rouse offense just took over.
And he's unlike anything that we've seen at the running back position for Vista Ridge, at least for the past 5 years. We've not seen someone as quick as with the vision that he has to be able to, make moves in the hole in very tight space, make guys miss. He's not going to bowl you over every time. He's not going to necessarily outrun anybody, but he had a phenomenal game, and we saw what we expect to see from Ty Mayberry last week.
And then Drew Cantu had 8 carries for 41 yards, and he might have to use some of his legs as the big line up front for Killeen might force him to tuck it and run it here tonight. So nice to have Drew Cantu, a dual-threat quarterback there behind, taking the snaps for the Vista Ridge Rangers. Receiving, it was Bryce Jones. They had that 1 catch, 50 yards from Kyle Brown that set up the first touchdown for the Rangers. What a beautiful pass and what a catch there.
Absolutely, and you'd hope to see them have the capability to move the ball through the air a little bit this week as well. That was a struggle for them last week. I mean, you talk about going 8 for 21, having 21 passes at all for Cantu is not what we've seen from him before, but obviously not completely his fault. He was in a position where he was, running for his life at different times.
And we're going to take you down to the field and our national anthem.
Represented by the Killeen High School JROTC Color Guard and Honor Guard under the direction of First Sergeant Retired Percy Brown, Lieutenant Colonel John Sanders, and Master Sergeant Retired Art Lawrence. Presenting colors, our Cadet First Sergeant Fred Dumont, Commander. Cadet Sergeant Hale Ale Oliola Malatenga, Texas Flag. Cadet Sergeant First Class Sean Alexander, Right Guard. And Cadet Corporal Luis Alicia, Left Guard. Our Honor Guard, our Cadet Captain Nicole St. Nicholas, Commander. Cadet Master Sergeant Alyssa Chavez. Cadet Master Sergeant Jansen Williams. Cadet Sergeant David Ward. Cadet Staff Sergeant Richard Davis. Cadet Corporal Giselle Sanchez. Cadet Private First Class Olivia Robinson. Cadet Private First Class Sadepa Tigai. Cadet Private First Class Larry Shipman. Cadet Private First Class Katie Soul. Cadet Private First Class Kataya Williams. And Cadet Private Rancher Anderson. This evening, our national anthem will be played by the Killeen High School Rue Band under the direction of Mr. Spencer Gray and Mr. Chase Landry.
Looks like Nick's wish as far as the rain goes, looks like it's just kind of splitting, kind of going towards the right and left. As the rain looks like, I don't know, it might be getting rained on here in the next 5 or 10 minutes. But so right now we're just minutes away, seconds away from the start of this one, as we're going to have the coin toss. The captains for the home team will be Tavion Grant, number 2. Number 9, Blaze Albino. Number 11, Denev Rosales. And number 49, Timothy Twilley. And for Vista Ridge, probably be Greer Girassi. Kellen Janda, Drew Cantu, Jordan Webster, and Oliver Marks, I believe. They didn't change from last week. Rossi, Janda, Cantu, Webster.
For the Rangers, number 9, Drew Cantu. The 21,
Listen from last week is Oliver
number
Marks.
35, Jordan Webster. And number 74, Weird. And for your review, number 2.
As they get ready for the coin toss right at midfield. Again, as Nick mentioned, Mr. Ridge and all whites, black helmets. The Killeen Kangaroos in their home maroon. A little bit like A&M, huh?
Yeah, I'd prefer you had not said that, but yeah, they do.
That's the first thing that came to mind. Because again, a little bit distorted there on the crowd mic as we're trying to do the best we can, and you'll be kind of hearing it go out in and out, just FYI. And this game is an audio broadcast, and Mr. Ridge won the toss, and they're going to receive. And the Roos will be choosing I believe that is the north or the south side here at Leo Buckley Stadium, so they'll be going from right to left. And it'll be Vista Ridge on offense first, and starting offensive line will be Avery Allen, Daryl Turner, Greer Gerasi, Aiden Meyer, and Braxton Smith. The receivers will be Jordan Webster, Bryce Jones, and Michael Walker will probably get the starting nod tonight. In the backfield, you'll have Drew Cantu, Trey Walker, and Ty Mayberry.
And expect a steady dose of Ty Mayberry, probably right here early in the game.
Expecting the kickoff to be from either Jose Solis, the senior, or Jorge Juarez Peña, the junior. It is going to be number 99, Jorge Juarez Peña, to kick off for Killeen. Ty Mayberry back to receive the kickoff along with Naquan White. Also back there is Evan Allen along with Kellen Janda. Game number 2 of this young 2018 season. Johnny Baeza, Nicholas Peters, Gabriel Gomez, and Rosie Vega. As we're almost set to start things off here from Leo Buckley Stadium in Killeen, Texas, the home of Fort Hood. Again, shout out to all those serving at home and abroad, those who served. We appreciate. Thank you all for serving as we kick it off. Suarez Peña is going to be a deep kickoff. It's going to be Mayberry at his own 4-yard line. He's at the 15, he's at the 20, goes up the middle, and is hit there and just falls forward to the 28-yard line. Hard running there by Mayberry. Tackle made by Demaria Brown, I believe, 20. They're pretty, the numbers are clear when they're up close, but they're kind of tall and put together when they're out and a little bit further away. On defense for Killeen, the left side up front will be Raekwon Thompson, Tashawn Johnson, Amir Ward. Linebackers Carlos Tamas, Chris Ingram, Tula Malosi, Lefatu, Demaria Brown. The defensive backfield after this play as Cantu lines up in the shotgun. He's got twins to the left side and now flag. And it's going to be delay of game. So not the way Mr. Ridge wanted to start this one. 1st and 10 goes to 1st and 15. And Cantu was thinking maybe the clock started a little bit too quick. But it's a 5-yard penalty against Vista Ridge. It'll be 1st and 15 from the 24-yard line.
And we saw a lot of this in college last weekend of teams not realizing that once the ball is established, that you have 40 seconds from right then to get the play off, and you can't take a lot of time on the sideline to call your play.
So 1st and 15 for Cantu and the Rangers. And they're going to hand it off here to the left side. That is to number 3 for Vista Ridge. That is Trey Walker taking it over the 25 to about the 26. It'll be 2nd and 13. 2 yards for Walker.
Big hit there by number 23, Carlos Thomas, just basically standing there waiting for that run to come his way.
And it's Colin Price, Tavion Grant, Willie McGeehan, Alawai Isataki in the backfield. Now they're going to hand it off to Mayberry. No, Cantu keeps it up the middle, and not much there as he is brought down again by number 44, therefore Killeen Amir Ward. And that one is about 2 yards to the 28-yard line. So a 3rd and long here for the Rangers, 3rd and 11. Walker in motion to the right side. Cantu, he'll scramble that way, looking downfield, looking, he throws into a crowd. The closest receiver there for Vista Ridge was Bryce Jones, but there was 4 Killeen defenders over there, and it's incomplete. Brings up 4th and 11, and Vista Ridge will be forced to punt.
Yeah, just nothing there for him. And so far, we're seeing Killeen and their 3-4 defense not utilizing their linebackers to attack or try to create a pass rush. They're not really blitzing. They're sitting back and waiting to see what Vista Ridge is going to do, and then attack from there. And on that particular play, they just created too many bodies in the defensive backfield for Cantu to get a completion.
And you saw Vista Ridge trying to extend the pocket on the first pass play, and there's a high punt. And it's going to be fair caught at the 42, juggled, but hung on to there at the 43-yard line. It's got by so Talalui Isataki. 1st and 10, Killeen at the 43-yard line with 10:39 left in the first quarter. So the Killeen offense up front is Jaden Jones, Ron Leuma, Steven Mendez, Yesi Viatupu, Elijah Taylor. From left to right, left tackle to right tackle. Quarterback is James Terry, fullback is Deneve Rosales, and Kadarius Marshall, the running back, 100-yard rusher last week, and now they're going to keep it, and Terry is going to take it up the middle, little zone read. Right there to make the stop, Luke Horn among others, and Kellen Janda. Gain of about 2 to the 45. 2nd and 8.
And there you saw the crashing of the defensive line. Vista Ridge with a 3-4, they love to send even their ends towards the middle just to clog any potential lane. And on that particular play, they were able to break through and get in the backfield themselves.
2 receivers to the left side for Terry. Terry now looking to throw. He's looking left. He throws and up finds a receiver in the middle of midfield. Bounces off a tackle, tries to get going, but he's stopped. That is number 3, Brandon Fox. It is at midfield, a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd down and about 3. Terry, the shotgun. He's got Marshall in the backfield. Marshall taking up the middle. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Bounces off. Nice job of coming in and making the hit. That is number 14 for Vista Ridge. Walter Anderson in there for Sebastian Barrett, and they're going to give him a 1st down. He needed 3. He got about 3.5. Now they're going to go to the right side. Marshall spinning, trying to break some tackles, but nice job there defensively by Bryce Christian. No gain. Well, excuse me, down to the 42-yard line, a gain of about 5 as he spun his way there. So 2nd and 5 for Killeen, and here it is quickly. They line up, and now they're going to throw a receiver screen here. Fox looking for some running room. And bounces off, dives for a 1st down, and they might give it to him.
That's Luke Horn coming from across the field from the defensive end position to ultimately make that tackle. Naquan White having to fight off a block as they go again with this this doubles look.
And now they hand up the middle. Marshall, as they grab the legs in the middle of the field there. That is again tackled by Walter Anderson, the defensive lineman, but he's going to give him 4 yards on that one. 2nd and 6.
Jake Miller, another player in on that tackle, the backup linebacker. Alfredo Sainz not playing tonight, as we pointed out early in the broadcast. They're showing the depth.
Twins to each side for Terry. Terry looking, he's looking to the left side. He's got a receiver, he's going deep. Deep out pattern and just overthrows, but a nice defensive play over there. Elijah Jones on the coverage. Pass falls incomplete. It's going to be 3rd and 6 for Killeen at the Vista Ridge 32-yard line. Roundrock and Belton, they're in a lightning delay still. We got a notification here, notice here that they evacuated the stadium as the rain is moving closer here to Leo Buckley Stadium. 3rd and 6 after the incomplete pass. Marshall to the left of Terry. Terry looking, straight drop back in the pocket, pressured by Anderson. He's going to escape. He's got a first down at the 25 and slides at about the 21-yard line. A pickup of 12 on the scramble.
Yeah, Anderson showing some great pass rush there, but just simply couldn't corral him. Able to escape the pocket with no one else in front of him and pick up the first down.
So 1st and 10 at the 21. Terry hands it off to Marshall. Marshall throws to Brandon. Oh, boy, what a nice read out there defensively by the defensive back from Vista Ridge, Iman Allen. He almost had a pick 6 there. Pass falls incomplete. Looks like it was a little toss over to Brandon Fox, or who threw that, Marshall?
It looked like Marshall threw it. It looked like a little sleight of hand where it was a fake handoff. But yeah, an incredible play by Iman Allen to disrupt this quick passing game.
And now Marshall is going to take it over the left side. Gets in the open, spins, breaks away at the 10. Almost lost it, but hung on to it inside the 10-yard line. Down to the 8. It'll be 1st and goal after the 13-yard gain. And now Terry looking to the left and throws low and unable to handle it over there. As a pass intended for DJ Dormius. 2nd and goal from the 8.
So far, Killeen reminds me a bit of the old Greg Davis offense, side to side and then up the middle. Utilize the quarterback's legs to pick up first downs when needed.
This is the 11th play of the drive that started at the 43-yard line, excuse me. Consumed almost a little over 3 minutes off the clock, and now handoff to Marshall. Marshall up the middle, smelling the end zone, is going to be touchdown. Marshall with the 8-yard run. Big 3rd down conversions there for Killeen on that drive, and they lead it 6-0, and they're going to kick the extra point. This is Solis out there to kick the extra point. The holder is Brandon Fox. Snap, the hold, placement of the football is good. 7-0 Killeen with 7:23 to go here in the first quarter. Again, 57 yards. Having 11 plays, just over 3 minutes left to clock.
Just a very methodical 57 yards of offense as well. And even when they did have some negative plays, they don't sit and dwell on those. They simply get into a positive play in the next down and keep the ball moving forward. Also, some of the new guys showing a little bit of their the butterflies for Vista Ridge. We see a couple of guys out of position before the play starts, but I'm sure that the defensive coaches will get that fixed before this next drive.
And Terry, again, big play there with his legs to get a first down, and so much nothing. I think he only completed 1 pass on that drive, but it was the legs of Marshall that took it the final 8 yards on that one, and it's 7-0 Killeen. And the rain Just keeps creeping closer and closer here to Leo Buckley Stadium.
The rain is imminent at this point. This reminds me of a game I was at with my dad, but between Texas and Missouri, sitting in the upper deck, and I'm sure my dad's listening tonight, where you could actually see the storm coming your direction, and that's exactly what this reminds me of. It's just a wall of water that's headed our direction.
Ty Mayberry and Eamon Allen back deep. Naquan White and Kellen Janda, the up man there in the kickoff return, is Juarez Peña set to put his leg into it. And luckily no lightning, just looks like a lot of water. We'll see what the referees decide here as Juarez Peña kicks it off deep. It's going to be Allen at the 5-yard line. Brings him back, he's at the 20. Cuts it to the left side, spins, trying to get the sideline, but could not get his legs going, and it stumbles past the 25 to the 26, a 21-yard return. It'll be 1st and 10, Vista Ridge. Down 7-0 with 7:15 to go first quarter. So Vista Ridge opened up the game with a 5-yard delay of game penalty, so now it's 1st and 10 from, give him the 27-yard line. 22-yard kickoff return. Webster will switch sides. Walker with Mayberry deep. That's Cantu. And now it's a little option play. Cantu's going to keep it. Takes it up the middle to the 30. Past the 32, 35. Oh, sort of the 35 to the 33. A 6-yard pickup. 2nd and 4. Michael Walter lined up here to the left. Mayberry now be the single running back behind Cantu. 2nd and 4 from the 33-yard line. And this time they hand it off to Mayberry. Mayberry looking for running room. Tries the left side, but nothing there. As the Killeen defensive line just stacked things up there.
It seemed as though they were in the huddle for that particular play, JB. The linebackers quickly crashed, expecting a run all day with a 2 tight end look from Vista Ridge and the pistol.
Raekwon Thompson made the tackle there, Nick.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how they're going to approach this with the way that they're being, the way that the defense is lining up and how they're not really rushing these linebackers.
6'2", 280-pound Raekwon Thompson. Now Cantu bumps into Mayberry, goes over to the right side, now throws and throws high. As he is hit as he throws it. And it's going to bring up 4th down and 4. Cantu looking for a late hit. I believe that was Chris Ingram, the middle linebacker, coming up there and making the hit. And again, that play, kind of the timing got messed up there as he ran into Mayberry. Now Vista Ridge will be forced to punt another 3 and out.
It seemed there was some confusion there as Mayberry seemed to be looking for the handoff or at least a fake, and looked as though he was going to run a wheel route down the left sideline. And then Cantu simply ran out of time.
And the punt by Hughes. And it's going to bounce at the 40-yard line and take a Killeen bounce back towards midfield, and they're going to down it at about the 46. And we welcome the Round Rock audience as a weather delay over there at Round Rock, Texas, as a bit of lightning over there, and welcome you here to Leo Buckley Stadium. Killeen and Vista Ridge. Killeen leads at 7-0. Johnny Baez along with Nick Peters, Gabriel Gomez, and Rosie Vegas. We welcome those of you listening in from Round Rock. As Killeen has the football 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line with 5:47 to go first quarter. As it is beginning to rain here in Leo Buckley Stadium. Little toss to the wide receiver coming across. That is number 1, Dormius. Dormius gets the sideline, tucks it upfield. And it's going to be brought down at about the Vista Ridge 35, an 18-yard pickup. That's considered a pass. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And Killeen quickly lining up. Devontae Monroe will check in at wide receiver. Dormius here, lined up here to the near side. Twins to the left, Marshall in the backfield. And now they're going to go, Terry's going to take it out of Marshall's gut and keep it as it goes up the middle. It is a gain of about 4 yards for Marshall. 2nd and 6 from the 31-yard line.
And the Vista Ridge defensive line actually pointing back the other direction as if the ball had come out. I couldn't see it from here, JB, but one of the Vista Ridge players did come away with the football and hand it to the referee.
He's bobbled it a couple of times and hasn't lost it yet, has Marshall, so he might kind of trying to be now. Vista Ridge trying to strip the ball out, and Horn with the tackle on Marshall as he gets it to about the 26. Another 5 yards there for Marshall. It'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Kangaroos from the 26-yard line. 3rd and 1. The rain now coming down a little bit harder here at Leo Buckley. And Terry trying to get the Vista Ridge Rangers to jump offsides, excuse me. And now Marshall will take the handoff, cuts it up in the middle. He's opening up the middle to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown. So Marshall on 3rd and 1 takes it to the house to give Killeen a 13-0 lead with 4:26 to go here in the first quarter.
And there was nothing there but green grass as no one touched him. He was through the line quickly, and none of the safeties or corners reacted in time to be able to make a stop.
They go 53 yards in a minute and 41 seconds on 4 plays. And they lead it now 14-0 here in the first quarter. They've run off 15 plays to Vista Ridge 6 and a couple of punts.
As we get ready for this kickoff, JB, this is, the exact situation that Coach Fincham was talking about in his interview. When you're down points, and how do you respond? Or when you make mistakes, how do you respond? A couple of mistakes there defensively for Vista Ridge. And what is the offense going to do to try to pick them up now? Last week it was the defense picking up the offense when things couldn't get moving. Now you need to see, or want to see, the offense do something to at least get the ball driving down the field and have a good series here.
Right now for it's Jaden Jones at 6'4", 235. Ron Lauma 5'9", 285. Steven Mendez at 275. We have Tupu at 300. And Taylor at 250 that are clearing the way for Marshall, and those easy yards up the middle. And you mentioned vision at the pregame about Mayberry. Boy, Marshall showing some nice vision there as he just cuts it back to the inside, finds running room, and turns on the jets up the middle and scores the touchdown as it is coming down here in Killeen. As now it is Jose Solis to kick it off. And now it's a little onside kick, and not nobody fooled there. Nice job there by one of the up men. That is Tristan Little for Vista Ridge. Way to be alert there as they tried a little trickery there to get the football back, but now Little gives Vista Ridge great field position at their own 47-yard line.
It's probably a combination of a little trickery as well as maybe take advantage of a wet football.
Yeah, also that, and the left footer coming in and probably putting a little awkward spin and trying to force a Vista Ridge mistake, but it's 1st and 10 from the 48. Vista Ridge has the football. We've got a new quarterback in. That is Brown. Kyle Brown. I think this is the same thing that they did last week, as now Coach Vincent is going to call a timeout. As Vista Ridge had problems with personnel. I think they only had 10 men there. 3, 6, 11 guys on the field, but probably not in the right position.
I think Brown was trying to either audible or check out of the play that he was in. Didn't like what he saw from the Killeen defense. But this is an interesting transition here, moving over to Brown, the more obvious pocket passer. He's your more true throwing quarterback. Cantu obviously more of the dual threat, so it'll be interesting to see what Vista Ridge plans on doing here from an offensive perspective to maybe get a spark going.
He was 1 for 3 last week, hit that 50-yarder to Bryce Jones to set up the first touchdown for Vista Ridge last week against Rouse, and now he's back in Walker and Mayberry in the backfield. This time he sends his receivers to the right side. Bryce Jones split wide right. As the referee is already playing just like that. The rain has let off a bit, and now they're going to go to Mayberry. Mayberry, nice move in the backfield, but cannot get going downhill, and he's going to be stopped 3 yards short of the line of scrimmage. A loss of 3. It'll be 2nd and 13, and penetration there by the Killeen defensive line.
You talked about their size and their strength at the beginning of the broadcast, JB, and so far that's all we've seen is they are getting this offensive line moving backwards and able to penetrate into the backfield to stop anything from getting going, whether it's a run or a pass.
280, 275, and 215 up front defensively for the Killeen Kangaroos, and now Brown is going to hand it off to Mayberry. No, he's going to keep it, and nobody full there. And that is Raekwon Thompson. I've been calling his name a lot here in the first quarter. And another loss on that play. It's going to be a loss of 3 back to the 42-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 16. Brown looking. He's going to throw. He's got a receiver up the middle. It is incomplete. There's going to be a flag. The pass was intended for Michael Walter. The referee throws a flag. This could be defensive pass interference. But he threw into 4 maroon jerseys back there with Walter.
Yeah, again, on an obvious passing down, JB, the Kangaroos dropping linebackers back into the defensive backfield just to close any space or any windows that Vista Ridge might be able to exploit, and again, not able to complete the pass.
So it's going to be an automatic first down. It's going to take the football back. It's going to take the football into Killeen territory, to about the 43-yard line. And Vista Ridge, via the penalty, gets its first down of the game. 3:08 to go first.
I was just about to say the Rangers really needed something positive to happen, and hey, if that's it, then we'll take it.
So 1st and 10, Rangers at the 43. Brown hands it off to Mayberry. Mayberry trying to find some running room, but nothing doing. Great penetration again. Jake Miller, that is Tulamalosi Lafatu on the tackle. And Mayberry gets back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. Twins to each side this time for the Rangers. Mayberry in the backfield. Rolling to his left is Brown, looking, pressured, and that's a nice decision. He just throws it away, and he is hit. Number 96 coming in that time to Sean Johnson.
Yeah, so far with this defensive line, it's been pick your poison. Whether they're getting pass rush or blowing up a running play, Vista Ridge is not able to get anything going on offense right now. They seem to be playing at a different speed than the Kangaroos.
Matthew Thomas, the running back, checks in for Vista Ridge. He's in the backfield with Brown. Webster. And up in the wing, and now Brown looking. Still looking. This time great protection, and he throws it away. He was looking over here for Talon Mayberry, but Mayberry was blanketed. That's number 7 back there, Willie McGee, on the coverage, and it brings up 4th down and 10 for the Rangers.
Yeah, you weren't sure.
The punting unit comes on.
You weren't sure if he was looking at Mayberry or potentially Michael Walter, but both players had to break off their routes because, to your point, they were bracketed in coverage, and there was simply no space for Brown to try to slide one in there.
Yeah, Walter started up the middle of the field in a little seam route, and he ended up on the way this other side as he was following Brown as he was scrambling to his left. So now the punting team is on Hughes. It's a low kick. Fair catch at the 10-yard line by the Kangaroos. Fair catch made by Taluai Isataki. So 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line for the Roos with 2:21 to go first quarter. They're up 14-0. Gone 53 yards and 57 yards for their touchdown, and now they got 90 yards. And the defense can make a stop here. A little field position game. And Rain in Round Rock, a fake. And now Terry, he's going deep. He's got a receiver right up the middle, but overthrows him. Naquan White on the coverage. And Dormius, you saw Terry let go of it, and Dormius separated himself from White. That pass was overthrown.
Yeah, I'm impressed so far with Dormius' speed. He's shown that now on a couple of plays, and there wasn't enough pass rush there to force that to be overthrown until Luke Horn was able to break through and get towards the quarterback.
2nd down, Marshall with the football. No, Terry is going to throw it, throws it away. Nice fake, and Luke Horn, that was Kellen Jandal over the running back, and the pressure forces Terry to throw it away. He'll be 3rd down and 10. It's only the first quarter, 2:11 to go, but this is a huge 3rd down here for the Vista Ridge Rangers. At least defensively. We'll try to get back into this game. Terry's going to send 2 receivers here to the near side. On 3rd and 10, Terry rolling out to his left, throws. It's going to be incomplete. Throws behind his receiver, and Luke Horn putting the pressure. Also in the backfield was Jake Miller for Vista Ridge, and this is going to force Killeen to punt.
As you said, that is an absolutely huge stop for the Vista Ridge Rangers. Now you have the opportunity to get the ball on the plus side of the field, or even watch potentially Naquan White make a big play on this punt return here. But you could not have asked for something more right now for the Vista Ridge Rangers.
I saw some lightning, I believe. Hopefully that was a camera flash. Oh, and that's blocked! Allen got a piece of it, and it's going to take a Killeen bounce to about the 32-yard line, and there's the break. Special teams comes up big for the Vista Ridge Rangers as Allen got a piece of that punt, and it's going to be Vista Ridge football, 1st and 10 at the Killeen 32-yard line. So Jonathan Martinez, the punter. So now, is that Cantu? Is that still Brown back in at quarterback? I believe that's still Brown. That's Brown, right?
That is Brown back in at quarterback, and you'd hope that this is just a trading series, and something isn't wrong with Drew Cantu.
Looks like they're going to move the football up to the 27-yard line. I believe that's where it was first touched by Killeen. So Vista Ridge, instead of being at 32, they move it up 5 yards at the 27-yard line. I didn't see a flag. So 1st and 10 Rangers at the 27. Brown hands it off. No, keeps it. And nothing doing right there waiting for him. As Nicholas Parker makes the stop, and Brown loses 2 yards. Second down and 12 from the 29-yard line. Scheduled kickoff for back to start the game. Round Rock is 8 p.m. and a pass up the middle at the 15, 10, 5, Webster, touchdown! Kyle Brown, as he was going to the ground, he didn't see Webster run into the end zone as he was getting himself up off the turf, but a perfect pass right up the middle, and Webster finishes the final 20 yards with his legs, and it's touchdown Vista Ridge with 1:16 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, great fake by Brown, taking advantage of those linebackers peering into the backfield and playing that zone coverage. No one back there to cover Webster as he ran behind the defensive backfield. Just a beautiful play call. Way to take advantage of this. Way to get back on in front or get on the scoreboard here for the Rangers.
Hughes now for the extra point. Again, we welcome the Round Rock audience, and there's a flag down as, again, I guess it's going to be delay of game on the Vista Ridge Rangers. So first, it's going to be the extra point. It's going to be now from the 8-yard line. Again, it's an 8 p.m. for Cedar Park and Cedar Ridge as they play at the Kelly Reeves Athletic Center, the Palace. Hughes, oh, the snap is bobbled. Hughes is going to pick it up. No, it's going to be picked up by Killeen. Killeen is going to take it back. As Hughes tried to pick it up, taking it back for the 2-point play is Colin Price. And instead of being 14-7, it's 16-6. Killeen. And there's a flag down at the 43-yard line. So this one might not count. Unless it's after the play, but the referee was looking towards the Vista Ridge sideline. As the referees will huddle up and discuss this call. The flag is sitting at the 44-yard line.
The only two potential things I saw were maybe a block in the back or some taunting from the Kangaroos, though I didn't see anything clearly that was taunting as he was headed towards the end zone.
And they're walking, looks like they're going to go talk to Coach Rodney Vinson of the Vista Ridge Rangers. And if they started the taunting before he crossed the goal line, that could come back. So it's a block in the back. You called it, Nick, and the point after touchdown is no good. So Vista Ridge will kick it off. 1:16 to go first quarter in a 14. It's a 6 game here from Leo Buckley Stadium. Again, I'm Johnny Baez along with Nicholas Peters, Gabriel Gomez, Rosie Vega. It's a 14-6 game, a blocked punt, and a 29-yard touchdown pass from Brown to Webster puts the Rangers on the scoreboard. Killeen has a couple of touchdown runs by Marshall, Darius Marshall, a 26-yarder and an 8-yarder. As Hughes will tee it up from the 40-yard line. Dormius and Brandon, I thought I saw number 3, but that's number 5. Excuse me, that is Kadarius Marshall. Back deep to receive the punt. The running back. Starting running back over there to receive the punt. It's still raining here at Leo Buckley. And Hughes kicks it deep. It's going to be Marshall from his 4-yard line. He's at the 20, up the middle, and he's going to be brought down. And guess who made the tackle? Hughes, the kicker, makes the tackle, brings Marshall down at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10. 69 seconds to go here. First quarter.
When you have a huge hole like that on a kickoff return, the last person you want bringing you down is the kicker.
I think Marshall was thinking he was going to run over him, but nice job of just getting low and taking his legs out. As Terry will bring the Roos offense back on the field. They scored on their first 2 drives. They were forced to punt. And now we have a whistle. So another delay of game penalty, again, this time against Killeen. And it's going to be 1st and 15 from the 24-yard line. Terry fakes the handoff to Marshall, throws up the middle. That's Fox at the 30 to the 35, gets to about the 37-yard line. The 13-yard pickup, moving up 2nd and 2. Clock running, 45 seconds to go first quarter. Marshall gets the football at the on the left side, breaks a tackle, spins away at midfield, trying to separate himself, but is tackled. Defensive end Carter out there hustling to make the tackle. It'll be 1st down and 10 for Killeen at the Vista Ridge 40-yard line.
Just a delay in the hole there, waiting for his man to get to the 2nd level, then take advantage of the large hole that got exploited.
So 1st and 10 from the 40. And again, it's going to be Marshall this time going up the middle and breaking tackles and spins away at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Colton Stahl. Among others, it'll be pickup of about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Colton Stahl, a name that we're used to saying on this broadcast, especially if last season is any indication.
And I think Killeen's going to let this one down. So it's reached the end of the first quarter. Killeen driving. They have it 1st and 2nd and 5 from the 35-yard line. We're going to take a break. You're listening to Rangers football right here on the KMAX Sports Video, Vype Video Network.
In the battle for barbecue supremacy, Warriors pit prime meats, secret sauces, and recipes against one another. Yet one champion stands alone. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, in the modern-day vernacular, where bad means good. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue has the worst barbecue in Texas.
From West Texas all the way to the Bayou and all points in between.
I saw miles and miles of Texas.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, bringing your teams to you.
And back at Leo Buckley Stadium to start the second quarter. Vista Ridge trailing by 8, 14-6, but Killeen driving as they have it 2nd and 5 from the 35-yard line. Vista Ridge territory. Terry is going to hand it off to Marshall, but fumbles, and right there to fall on it is Vista Ridge. Walter Anderson, who's been having a big first half defensively for the Vista Ridge Rangers, falls on the football. A little miscommunication in the backfield as I don't know if Terry was going to pull the football out from Marshall's gut or just Marshall just dropped it, but a big break here for Vista Ridge. First turnover of the game, and it's 1st and 10 Rangers from their own 37.
Yeah, as you said, that's a huge break, and it's one of those coaching moments for the Kangaroo offense. If you are going to try to play that slot screen game or the fake handoff game, you've got to be certain as to what you're going to do when you're playing with a wet football.
So Vista Ridge, 11:56, just underway here in the second quarter. Has it. Cantu back in at quarterback. Walker in motion. Cantu, a little option with Walker. He's going to toss it to the left side. Walker, he's going to give it right back to Killeen. The pitch a little bit behind Walker. And it's Killeen's football. Is that Willie McGee falling on it? So now Killeen has it at the 39-yard line.
Cantu there just taking a little too long to make the decision as to whether or not he was going to keep or pitch. And once he did decide to make the pitch, hit right as he did it, the ball goes a little bit behind his intended target and ultimately hits the ground, which, again, if you're going to run the option, if you're going to run a handoff play in the wet weather, you've got to be certain as to what you're going to do and make hard, quick decisions.
So 1st and 10, Kangaroos at the 39-yard line. And this time Marshall trying to go up the middle, and Anderson right there waiting for him. Marshall is going to push the pile a bit for about a 1-yard gain. It's 2nd and 9. So Terry, lightning right there, and referees, I'm sure they're getting the weather report. As we might be heading into some kind of lightning delay here for tonight. And now Terry looking, rolls, scrambles to the left. And now he's got a receiver deep. And it is caught. Flags down, but it's going to be against Vista Ridge. And a catch there made by DJ Dormius came back for the football. And who was that? Was that Bryce Christian, not the linebacker, trying to cover a wide receiver back there?
He was having to make up on the play as no one was anywhere near DJ Dormius, sitting all alone. As his quarterback rolled to his left, he had him wide open. He floated the ball a bit, which enabled the linebacker to get there, try to make a play. But Dormius just jumped over and made the catch and able to break through the tackle and run into the end zone.
Again, the ball was underthrown as Solis in to kick the extra point for Killeen. It's going to be on Jones, that was number 4. Elijah Jones, as he was trying to get back and just didn't turn his head, and Dormius came down with the catch anyway. A 20-6 game. Early second quarter, the extra point is up. It is good, so Killeen leads at 21-6 after a Vista Ridge turnover. We recovered a Killeen turnover. So exchange of turnovers gives Killeen the 15-point lead.
We have the benefit of instant replay here at Leo Buckley Stadium, and they're just showing it in slow motion. Just an incredibly athletic play by DJ Dormius. Elijah Jones did everything he could to try to break that ball up as well as bring Dormius down, but he simply wasn't going to be denied that catch or that touchdown.
In Cedar Ridge, Cedar Park, we welcome them listening to Vista Ridge Rangers football here, sponsored by Elder Mitsubishi Motors, as their game is set to start here in about 15 minutes if there are no further delays. And it's going to be Suarez Peña to kick it off here for Killeen. Mayberry and Allen back deep for the Rangers. Vista Ridge and Killeen both coming in 0-1 in this young season. Both of them part of 9-team districts. Killeen out of 12-6A, Vista Ridge from 13-6A, and little pooch kick over here to the left side is going to go out of bounds. They were trying a little kickoff pass here to the wide cover guy here and trying to see if he could run underneath it. But he goes out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 for Vista Ridge as they have it at the 45-yard line.
I'm tracking the weather here, Johnny. I'm no meteorologist, but it looks as though the cell that is just north of us, where we saw the lightning strike a couple of minutes ago, is going to miss us as it moves past us to the west. So once that cell is through, we may not have any issues. It'll likely continue to rain the rest of the night.
Thank you, sir. First and 10 Rangers from the 45-yard line. And up the middle. Nothing there for Ty Mayberry. As Ward on the tackle along with Chris Ingram. Hendrickson and Smithson Valley at Pflugerville at the field has been canceled because of weather. So Mother Nature just having the last word for some of our games. Cantu fakes it and just goes out of bounds and just throws it away. And the swarming defense of Killeen, just nothing there coverage-wise for Cantu, and he's just forced to just get rid of it as he was running out of real estate. 2nd and 10. 3rd and 10. As that pass falls incomplete. Clock stopped with 10:23 to go first quarter in a 21-6 game. Advantage home team, Killeen Kangaroos. Cantu, straight drawback looking, goes up the middle, and it's almost picked off. I'm sure he was going for Webster. Webster didn't even turn around, look for the football, and he led Michael Walter a little bit too much, and almost coming up with the interception was the linebacker, Chris Ingram.
Yeah, he had Walter in the seam there. They're trying to take advantage again of this zone coverage by the Killeen Kangaroos, and as you said, an overthrow, and it was an absolute rocket from Cantu as well. But, you know, almost intercepted as you had a safety coming over the top. Luckily, that drops for an incomplete as opposed to a turnover on downs. But here we are, Vista Ridge having to punt the football again.
Again, this is the 3rd punt. Hughes, nice kick. And it's going to bounce at the Killeen 27 and take a Vista Ridge bounce, and it's rolling. And it's going to be down at about the 12-yard line. Make it to 13. So a nice 42-yard punt, no return there by Hughes. It'll be 1st and 10 Killeen. 10:07 left on the first half clock.
And with the offense struggling to get any rhythm for the Rangers, here's again where you need a big stop from your defense, playing the location game with them backed up to their 12-yard line. Love to see them get a stop and force a punt or get a turnover here and maybe take advantage of being on the plus side of the field.
So Terry is going to hand it off to Marshall over to the right side. Marshall looking for some running room and backpedals his way to about the 18-yard line after making a spin move at the line of scrimmage. It's a gain of about 4 yards to the 17. 2nd and 6. And this time they fake to Marshall. They're going to throw a little out here to the fullback. This is Rosales coming out of the backfield and pass a little bit too. Not sure where that pass was. I think he was just looking to run before he caught it. They're down in 6 after the incomplete pass.
I count that, JB, as the 7th different look that we've seen from Killeen tonight on offense.
Again, KMAX Sports, Chuck Licata and Merle Bertrand waiting to bring you the Cedar Park game. And this time a handoff to Marshall. That time great penetration there by number 96 for the Vista Ridge Rangers. That is Rashid Dowdell, who had a great game coming in for Barrett last week against Rouse. And it's 4th down and 4 after the 2-yard gain. And Killeen's lining up like they're going for it.
I think that their special teams is looking to the
there's no
sideline
kicker.
to wonder where the punter is.
Where's the punter? The punter's getting his helmet. And now they're going to have to call timeout before they delay a game. Willie McGee.
But this is exactly what the doctor ordered if you're the Vista Ridge Rangers. Get a big stop. Get them to force them to punt from deep in their own end. See if Naquan White can't make a play here on a punt return, or at least get the ball in a great field position for the Ranger offense.
Again, the Hendrickson-Smithson Valley game over in Pflugerville at the field has been canceled. Cedar Park is delayed by weather. Round Rock Belton is delayed by weather. I don't know about McNeil and Leander Glenn. As we await the punt by McGee for Killeen, as Naquan White will wait for it, standing at the Killeen 45-yard line. 8:57 to go first half. Killeen leads at 21-6. And McGee, again, rush up the middle by Allen. This time can't get to it. It's a high punt. Bounces at the 45 and takes a Killeen bounce inside Vista Ridge territory, inside the 40-yard line, and rolls all the way to the 37. So about a 45-yard punt. No return. It'll be 1st and 10 Vista Ridge at their own 37, trailing by 15.
No, it was a great kick, but you'd like to see Naquan White maybe come up and throw the hand up for a, for a fair catch and make the catch before it's able to hit the ground.
Yeah, he could have probably saved 20 yards of field position and give Vista Ridge excellent field position if he fair caught it about the 45-yard line. So 1st and 10. Vista Ridge, Cantu and company will try to cut into this 15-point lead. Looks like McNeil Glenn is tomorrow. My bad. Thought they were playing tonight. That'll be Glenn's first varsity football game. It's a nice gain all the way to the 42-yard line, a gain of 5. Be 2nd and 5. Who's that ran the football there, Nick? You see that?
Oh, it looked as though that was Mayberry, but seeing a different running back in the backfield now.
It's Webster and Mayberry, and there's a high snap, and they're going to take it away. But Cantu, nice job on the zone read. Tries to fight for the first down, but it's stopped at the 45-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 2 for the Rangers. And quickly, they're going to go and hurry up. Quade Hegvet is lined up in there. As Cantu quickly lines him up, and he's going to hand it off to Mayberry over the left side, looking for running room, cuts it upfield, and it's going to be a first down. Needed 2, got 4. 1st and 10. So 1st and 10. At the 49. And again, they fake to Mayberry. Looking, he's got a receiver downfield, and he's going to launch it in. Just a little underthrown, wide open behind the secondary was Bryce Jones. Boy, he puts a little bit of air underneath it. Bryce Jones is running into the end zone.
He is. The safety came over flat to try to make a stop, thinking that it looked as though Jones might stop, but as he kept running, there's no one else behind him. But Cantu simply can't get enough air underneath it to lead him towards the end zone.
2nd and 10 from the 49. Cantu quickly over to the left side and caught. Is that Webster? No, number 42, excuse me. That is Chase Messner. So we have Lightning over to our north. That's Cantu on 3rd and 3, hands it to Mayberry, spins, fighting for yardage, moving the pile, and forward progress as he gets thrown back by the defensive line, but it's going to bring up 4th down and about 2 for the Rangers.
And the way this game is going on offense for the Rangers, this is obvious 4th down territory.
Yeah, Smithson Valley, Hendrickson, Belton, Round Rock, and Cedar Park, Cedar Ridge were the only games here tonight. Austin at Westwood, Killeen Allison at Vandergrift, McNeil at Glenn, Pflugerville, Leander, and Stony Point, Harker Heights are tomorrow night. And now the whistle, as we might have a timeout here by Killeen, I believe. It'll be their 2nd timeout. As the referee says, timeout Gray. 6:25 to go first half, 21-6 game. And I was going to say let's check our scores, but nothing happened tonight but us.
We're the only game in town.
And right now we just got official word from Kelly Reeves Athletic Center. They're going to wait until 8:30 to make the call on the Cedar Ridge, Cedar Park game.
I know a number of our listeners are actually sitting on the visitor sideline right now from the Vista Ridge side. And we're sorry that you're wet, but we're not sorry that we're dry.
4th down and 1. A long one here for Vista Ridge. Cantu is under center. Sends Messner over here to the right side. Mayberry lined up deep. And they're going to hand it to Mayberry over the right side. Dives. That's going to be 1st down Vista Ridge. A big 4th down conversion. As the ball's going to be spotted inside the 40-yard line at the 39. A gain of 2. Vista Ridge keeps the drive going.
It's a great job on the right side of this offensive line, getting a bull rush and able to take up these giant defensive linemen that Killeen is trying to utilize to disrupt the running game.
So 1st and 10, twins to each side. Now Cantu is going to try a little seam right on the sideline. It looks like Jones got held as he was making his cut or making the break towards the football, and no call, 2nd and 10.
Definitely some contact on his way down the sideline. And
I saw the arm reach out there.
And I think Cantu actually thought he had a free play. The nose guard looked as though he had jumped across, but maybe he jumped straight up. And so you see Cantu take the snap and just send his receiver on a go route. Couldn't get the completion.
Walker and Quaid Hegvet here lined up to the near side. Mayberry in motion. The option play to the right side. Cantu finds a seam. Cuts it upfield, and did the ball come loose? Killeen saying they have the football. A hard hit at the 32-yard line. Webster says it's Vista Ridge football. And it's going to be Kangaroo football as Cantu, his 2nd fumble of the night, turns it over at the Killeen 32-yard line. So the turnover bug hurting the Vista Ridge Rangers here in the first half. A nice drive going there after a big 4th down conversion. They turn it over, and if 5:48 to go first half, Killeen leads at 21-6, and they have the football.
And Cantu just trying to make a play there. He saw some daylight, well, as much as we could see tonight with this rain, but saw some daylight trying to get a big run and simply coughed it up at the point of tackle.
So Terry now in with a Killeen offense, and he's going to hand it off. It's a different running back just weaving his way through the line, and boy, Vista Ridge defense just trying to get that ball loose. Carter on the tackle. And is that Devontae Monroe who's running the football? Or
I think it was Demariante Moore, number 22, running the football.
Thank you, sir. 1st and 2nd and short for Killeen, and now he's going to throw a pass and tries to lead his receiver into the middle of the field. Dormia is trying to make a leaping grab, and great play defensively, and luckily there's no flag there. Jake Miller coming up to make the hit.
And Eamon Allen on the coverage, just blanket coverage that time, and made the hit as soon as the ball got there. So a great play of avoiding what could have been easily pass interference if he had hit him just a half a second faster.
And throwing into double coverage was Terry, and it's 3rd down and short for Killeen. And now looking over here to the left side. Now he's going to have to run out of the pocket, chased, and he throws, and it is caught at midfield. Great job of improvisation there by Terry. And nice job of just staying with his route was the receiver, Devontae Monroe. And it's 1st down, Kangaroos at midfield after the 10-yard gain. Low snap, Terry picks it up off the turf, looking deep. Now he's going to be chased, and now he eludes the rush, but he's going to be tackled. Great job of the initial pressure by Carter, and then he's wrapped up there by Aristan Oli, defensive lineman, junior. Loss of 2, it'll be 2nd and 12 on the sack. Nice to get a sack from your defensive line.
Yeah, and some very good pass rush there. Finally breaking through this large Kangaroo offensive line. We've talked a couple of times about their size, and they've been, for the most part, doing an incredible job tonight, keeping players off of their quarterback. That time simply couldn't hold the pressure long enough.
Being an offensive lineman, it's raining. He says, let's run the ball, coach. We don't get tired when we have to run block. And again, they're going to hand it off, and they cut it to the outside. That's the running back. That's number 22 carrying the football for another 1st down. Demariante Moore, senior running back, and he takes it all the way to the Vista Ridge 37-yard line, a 13-yard pickup. 1st down, Killeen. 3:50 to go first half. And now they're going to hand it off to Moore again. This time nothing doing. Anderson. Walter Anderson drops Monroe for a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. There's your defensive player of the game so far here in the first half for the Vista Ridge Rangers.
I was just about to say he really is having a great night thus far.
2nd and 11. And they're going to hand it off. Monroe this time trying to get to the outside. And nice job of getting away from Kellen Janda. Makes a little, tries to duck away from Janda and cuts it back to past the 35 to about the 34. Gain of 4 to be 3rd down and 7. 5 yards, 3rd and 6. As Dormius. Again, offense, Kangaroo offense looking at the scoreboard. And now a whistle, and it's going to be, I believe, false start against Killeen. So they'll back them up 5. It'll make it 3rd and 11.
Here you go, 3rd and long, another opportunity for Vista Ridge to get off the field and get the ball back into the offense's hands. We're starting to see a little bit of rhythm building for the Vista Ridge offense. So if the defense can continue to get Killeen off the field, you could see a strong comeback here, and I know that that's what the plan is for the Rangers.
And Vista Ridge Rangers football is sponsored by Elder Mitsubishi Motors. Also, Foxhole Culinary Tavern, Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes, Randall Jones and Associates, Schlotzky's, Summer Moon Coffee, Vista Ridge Family Dentistry, and Zaxby's. So we appreciate their sponsorship on 3rd and 11 here with 2:17 to go. And now they're looking to run a screen pass, and they got it set up. Marshall at the 30-yard line, hit, bounces off a tackle, still on his feet, reverses his field, and is coming way across the field at the 32, at the 25, picks up a block. Gets it to the 10, to the 5, touchdown. What a run by Kadarius Marshall. Boy, didn't see who hit him over there at the 30-yard line, but if they wrap him up, he's down there and short of the 1st down. But a nice job of breaking tackles. Finds a block, and I believe that was Dormius blocking for Marshall. And it's a touchdown. 36 yards. Boy, he got hit. Number 45 coming up to make the catch, or is that Colton Stahl? And yeah, Dormius just blocking, and Marshall carrying it in, and a bobble snap, and now they're going to try to go in for 2, and he's going to try to get the corner, and boy, Brandon Fox alertly picks up the football and gets the corner and gets the 2-point conversion. It is a 29-6 game.
Going back to the screen pass, JB, perfectly diagnosed by the linebacker coming up to make a tackle. I couldn't agree with you more. If he wraps up there, we're looking at a punt or potentially a turnover on downs, and just didn't do it. He makes a great play, bounces off the would-be tackler, came all the way across the field to find where his blockers were. There were 7 Vista Ridge defenders around him, and he just ran away from them.
As we get ready for the kickoff, it's 29-6 Killeen with 1:59 to go here in the 1st half. And that turnover by Cantu is converted for a touchdown by Killeen. Vista Ridge with 2 turnovers here in the 1st half. Killeen only has 1. How does the weather look over there, Nick?
Just about to take a look at that. We just saw another lightning strike, at least in the distance. But the radar continues to show that what's north of us is going to pass us.
So Round Rock and Belton has been moved to Belton tomorrow night. So the Round Rock Dragons will play at Belton tomorrow night. Cedar Ridge, Cedar Park. They're going to try to, they're making the call at 8:30, and if they can't play tonight, they will try to find a stadium to play tomorrow night. As Juarez Peña set to kick things off here with 1:59 to go, 1st half. As we have a stoppage here, is a flag, delay of game on the kickoff. So they're going to penalize them 5 yards. A lot of Delay game penalties here in the first half. One game has already been canceled. Hendrickson and Smithson Valley. Not sure if they're going to make that game up. I don't think so. We haven't had word on that. This line drive kick, the 10-yard. It bounces off the shoulder pad of Mayberry, and it's going to be Killeen football. Boy, that was a line drive kick that Mayberry came up to try to field it. And it hit his left shoulder pad, and it's recovered by Killeen. I believe that was Jamari Morris with the recovery. Boy, it took about a 20-yard bounce the other way after the ball hit Mayberry on the shoulder pad.
It was just a rocket kick. It would have been hard to catch regardless, and he comes up to make the play. As you said, it goes flying off of his shoulder pad. It bounced a good 15 yards forward. And Johnny on the spot. The Kangaroos take over the football again.
Terry still at quarterback, looked like. So we have a different running back, and he's going to have the football. That's number 26 breaking tackles. And he's finally going to be caught down about 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage by number 54 for Vista Ridge, Patrick Reed. Number 26 is Tioni Gomez, junior running back. Pickup of about 6 yards. It'll be 2nd and 4 from the 19-yard line. Terry. Again, it's going to be Gomez. Gomez this time trying the right side, runs into a Vista Ridge defender, and he just throws him down. So linebacker, Jay White. Good way for a linebacker to fill the hole there defensively. Comes up and stops Gomez for a 1-yard gain. 3rd and 3.
And also finished the tackle with some authority by Jay White.
60 ticks left in this first half clock. 3rd and 3. Terry is going to give it to Gomez. Gomez trying to get the first down. I think he's going to be, he needed to go past the 15-yard line. No, they're just going to give it to him. It's like that little elbow kind of stretched over the 15-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 15 for Killeen. Already up by 23, Killeen at the 15-yard line. 39 seconds left. This time it's a fake and a pass. Fox at the 10-yard line. Takes a step back as he tried to get away from the tackler, and it's going to be 2nd down and about 6 after a 4-yard gain. Timeout, Killeen. That Gomez lined up over there in the slot on the right side. Was he wanting to make the catch?
It was, and I believe Cannon Chromus there breaking down and being able to make the tackle, stopping him at only 5 yards as opposed to what could have been a bigger gain.
With up by 23, Coach Searcy for Killeen is now has the luxury of playing a lot of different players here on offense, getting them some playing time as they too will start district play next week.
And trying to take advantage of you using his last time out. They want to put an exclamation point on this half.
And they'll be getting the ball in the 3rd quarter as Vista Ridge won the toss and elected to receive. And now Terry. He's got Gomez in the backfield. 3rd and 3, 2nd and 4. Little out pass just past the defender's reach and is caught and taken in for a touchdown. So a touchdown pass of 11 yards to Nate Camper, the 6'6", 195-pound junior. Catches the ball at about the 6-yard line and just takes it in. Killeen leads it 35-6.
And he is
24 seconds left in the half.
Long receiver. He could have stretched from about the 4-yard line and scored.
And now Solis for the extra point. And it's good. 36-6. Didn't see the Vista Ridge defender that came in there and just missed that. As Terry had a zip on that pass. Is it Killeen Janda? There's two Vista Ridge defenders trying to keep Camper out of the end zone. Cannon Chromas unable to make the stop. And it's a 36-6 game with 24 seconds left. Again, the Round Rock listeners, we're 15 minutes away from making a decision for Cedar Park, Cedar Ridge. Round Rock Belton has already been moved to Belton, and Hendrickson Smithson Valley has been canceled. This is what we go through on baseball season. Looking for places to play when Mother Nature decides to influence the games. Mayberry deep, along with Caleb Cross. And Caleb Cross is going to watch the ball sail over his head and out of the end zone. First and 10, Vista Ridge at the 25-yard line with 24 seconds left. Enough time to get a shot off, right?
Definitely get a shot off, but you wonder if Coach Vincent might just be comfortable or keen on taking this into the locker room at this point. This is going to be regroup time at halftime for the Rangers.
Brown is in at quarterback with Mayberry. We got some new personnel offensively. I see Adam Fogg in the slot here to the right side. Brown's got twins to each side, and he's going to hand it over to Mayberry. Mayberry to the right side, cuts it to the outside, spins, but cannot get away. Pickup of 2. Tackle there by Colin Price. 2nd and 8. Clock moving with 9 seconds, and I think that's going to take us to halftime. Yes, Vista Ridge is walking. Towards the sideline, that's going to do it. We're at halftime here from Leo Buckley Stadium in Killeen, Texas. A long first half. An hour and 15-minute first half. As Vista Ridge trails it 36-6. We're going to take an extended break. It's Vista Ridge Rangers football right here on the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network, excuse me.
Socialize with us.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click. It's real easy, man.
On Twitter, @KMAX Sports, or catch us on Facebook. Search KMAX Sports. Just another way KMAX Sports is bringing your teams to you.
In the battle for barbecue supremacy, warriors pit prime meats, secret sauces, and recipes against one another. Yet one champion stands alone. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, in the modern-day vernacular, where bad means good. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue has the worst barbecue in Texas.
Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes is from right here in Austin. As you know, Austin has several fine burger establishments. That's why we're especially proud that Zagat has rated Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes the #1 burger in Austin. So is it Zagat or Zagat's? Like I said, there are several good burger places here in Austin. But as you know, there's good and then there's Mighty Fine. Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes.
KMAX Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, think of the Congress Avenue Bridge Bat Colony. Okay, folks, here they come. They're flying out from under the bridge. They appear to be Louisville Sluggers, and they're falling. Oh, the humanity! As God is my witness, I thought, bats could fly. Bringing your teams to you since 2003 without dropping the ball or the bat. We are K-Max Sports. K-Max Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, imagine a downtown condo tower if it was full of sports. But first we'll have to evict the hipsters. Not cool, man. Not cool. But don't worry about them. They won't starve. There's plenty of food trailers left on Rainy Street. Oh, what's that? They ran them all out? Aw, poor hipsters. Bringing your teams to you since 2003. We are K-Max Sports.
In the battle for barbecue supremacy, warriors pit prime meats, secret sauces, and recipes against one another. Yet one champion stands alone. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, in the modern-day vernacular, where bad means good. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue has the worst barbecue in Texas.
K-Max Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, think of the state capitol if it was full of sports. I mean, the rotunda's more than large enough for basketball or volleyball, and let's face it, anything we do in there is going to be better than what's going on right now. Plus, those guys only work every 2 years. We bring your teams to you every doggone day. Bringing your teams to you since 2003. We are K-Max Sports.
Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes is from right here in Austin. As you know, Austin has several fine burger establishments. That's why we're especially proud that Zagat has rated Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes the #1 burger in Austin. So is it Zagat or Zagat's? Like I said, there are several good burger places here in Austin. But as you know, there's good and then there's Mighty Fine. Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes.
K-Max Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, imagine a downtown condo tower if it was full of sports. But first we'll have to evict the hipsters. Not cool, man. Not cool. But don't worry about them. They won't starve. There's plenty of food trailers left on Rainy Street. Oh, what's that? They ran them all out? Aw, poor hipsters. Bringing your teams to you since 2003. We are K-Max Sports.
From West Texas all the way to the Bayou and all points in between.
I saw miles and miles of Texas.
This is the K-Max Sports Network, bringing your teams to you.
And welcome back to a rainy Leo Buckley Stadium here in Killeen, Texas. Johnny Baez and Nicholas Peters, Gabriel Gomez, and Rosie Vega. Live Vista Ridge Rangers football right here on the K-Max Sports Vype Media Network. And a big first half for Killeen, 36-6. Vista Ridge with a couple of turnovers. Killeen had one turnover, but it didn't hurt them as three touchdown passes by Killeen quarterback Barry and to three different receivers, and a couple of touchdown runs by Kadarius Marshall has given Killeen a 30-point lead.
Yeah, no, James Terry's having a great game. They've been able to handle or beat the Vista Ridge pressure, especially when throwing the football. They're utilizing that quick passing game to find some open slots in the zone coverage that Vista Ridge is employing tonight. And it's just been a night of exploits, but again, a night of mistakes. 3 turnovers for the Vista Ridge Rangers, the 1 turnover by Killeen, and they got the ball right back on the ensuing play. And
it looks like the size of Killeen up front is really hurting the Vista Ridge Rangers as they are dominating the line of scrimmage. Kadarius Marshall with 2 touchdown runs, one of 8 yards, the other one a 26-yarder, and then that excellent run on that screen pass that used every single part of the football field and takes it in for the touchdown. And then Barry again, this time to Dormius, a great catch, leap and grab over Elijah Jones, and then Camper, that final touchdown with 24 seconds left in the first half for 36 points. And then Brown, under pressure, throws a strike to Webster for the lone touchdown for Vista Ridge in the second quarter. They cut it to 14-6, but then after that, 22 unanswered points here by Killeen in the first half.
And it wasn't just a runaway either. Right after the Vista Ridge Rangers scored that touchdown, bring the game within 8 points, they get a big stop by the defense, seemingly about to come back out with some momentum and take the football back down the field. But the offense has also really struggled to get anything going or anything of rhythm. And that's been the story tonight, as you said. Killeen is not just controlling the line of scrimmage from an offense perspective. They are controlling the line of scrimmage defensively as well.
And we just saw some lightning this time to the south of us. So, who knows? Let's see if this game gets, we get to finish this game here in the second half, as Vista Ridge band usually performs first when they're on the road, but this time they thought they were coming to march, but they're actually going to the bus. Looks like they're leaving. I think the umbrellas are still out.
I don't think either band is going to risk being out on the field tonight with all the metal those kids are holding. It's the last thing I'd want my kid to be doing is standing out in the middle of this field right now.
The diehard fans here for Vista Ridge and for Killeen are withstanding a little downpour that we're having, and it's just a little constant rain, nothing really hard, but it is all the way around us and some lightning around us, so we'll see what happens when we come out at halftime. And we'd catch you up on some other scores, but right now it's Mother Nature 3 and high school football 1 as Belton and Round Rock has been moved to tomorrow night. They're playing in Belton. Cedar Park, Cedar Ridge, in 5 minutes they'll make a decision on whether they continue the game tonight or they move it to tomorrow night if they can find someplace to play. And Hendrickson and Smithson Valley has been canceled. So I know I have a happy young man at the house as he had to go to a scrimmage for middle school and had to go help out and film for the high school game. But so he's at home right now, dry.
Nice and dry, absolutely.
Shout out to my better half. Margot couldn't be here tonight. She's a spotter here that helps us, kind of helps us out in here in the press box. So she had other things to do, and shout out to her. And appreciate the Round Rock fans listening in, and just got an update here. And yeah, the Hendrickson game canceled. No makeup game for the Hendrickson-Smithson Valley. Thank you to Chuck Licata for the updates, and we'll see what they do with Cedar Park, Cedar Ridge. We're about 18 minutes away from the start of the third quarter. When we come back, we'll go ahead and replay Coach Vincent's interview when we talked to Coach Vincent prior to tonight's game. You're listening to Vista Ridge Rangers football, sponsored by Elder Mitsubishi Motors, right here on the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes is from right here in Austin. As you know, Austin has several fine burger establishments. That's why we're especially proud that Zagat has rated Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes the #1 burger in Austin. So is it Zagat or Zagat's? Like I said, there are several good burger places here in Austin. But as you know, there's good and then there's Mighty Fine. Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes.
In the battle for barbecue supremacy, warriors pit prime meats, secret sauces, and recipes against one another. Yet one champion stands alone. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, in the modern-day vernacular, where bad means good. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue has the worst barbecue in Texas.
China Beza with Coach Rodney Vincent here of the Vista Ridge Rangers. And Coach, a very, very short week. And last week, 34-13 loss to Ross Raiders. But, there's always something constructive coming out of a loss as it was on Friday night. So your team looked good for 3 quarters. It's just that fourth quarter that you like to forget.
Well, JB, I think if, early in that game and throughout the game, we had a couple drives that we had offensively that were inside the 20, and, we turned the ball over inside the 20, and if we finish those drives and score, we have the ability to go up 21-3 at some point, and the game's a whole different ball game throughout the mix, but I was proud of our kids. They played hard for 4 quarters and just weren't able to finish some drives. And, towards the end, we tried doing some things, JB, to try to help us get some other opportunities and gave our defense short fields, and that's kind of why the game got the way it did.
And this short week, is there any different adjustments that you have to make or anything to try to correct some of those, the turnovers, the penalties, and just to get your team again ready for next week, which is for the start of the real season?
Yes, sir. There, the thing that we talked to our team about a lot was the hidden yardage, because that's pretty much what got us the other night, whether it's a mistake on special teams, whether it's turning the football over, whether it's a penalty. There's going to be penalties, JB, but the ones that we can actually control, those are the ones that we focus really hard on, the pre-snap penalties or post-snap penalties, those type things. So that was our focus this week, is to get better on those things. Kids had a great week of work. It's been a while since we've had a Thursday night game, and so getting our kids prepared in a short amount of time, we have to adjust. You have to try to get a lot of things in 3 days that you normally have 4 days to do. But our kids handled it really well, and I think they're focused on the things that they need to improve on.
And another road trip here to start the season, the second one of 3 here. And you're facing a team you've never faced before, the Killeen Kangaroos. So they got a lot of size, but what other type of problems do they present for you and challenges?
Well, I've faced Killeen when I've been at other schools, and we faced Harker Heights a long time ago. But the thing with the Killeen schools is just, in Killeen High School in particular, they're athletic. They do have some history, being the original school there. So they have some athleticism. They've got that tradition, and so the biggest issue I feel like with them is just their athleticism. They have guys that can make big plays, big chunks of yardage, JB, and so the biggest thing for us on both sides of the football is making sure that we can minimize and eliminate the big plays.
And just real quick, Coach, that's all I have for you this afternoon, for today. So is there any shout-outs, anything, any other people you want to recognize here?
No, just really proud of our kids for the way that they have worked. And, JB, we look at ourselves on film every Saturday, and the kids set 3 new goals and things they want to improve on, and I was proud of them for going out and going to work on it. Also, to our sports medicine staff, we went through a tough stretch in that first ball game, and they have worked fantastic with us this week to try to help our kids from a sports medicine perspective too. So I know that's the crew that nobody thinks about sometimes, but they work really hard, and I appreciate them.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you and your staff and everything you do for Vista Ridge High School, and just have a safe trip up there to Killeen. I know it's not a long way there, but we're anticipating some weather, so be safe.
Yes, sir. Thank you, JB.
Well, thank you, Coach. Thank you for joining us here on pregame. Coach Rodney Vincent of the Vista Ridge Rangers. We'll be back with more Vista Ridge Rangers football right here on the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes is from right here in Austin. As you know, Austin has several fine burger establishments. That's why we're especially proud that Zagat has rated Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes the #1 burger in Austin. So is it Zagat or Zagat's? Like I said, there are several good burger places here in Austin, but as you know, there's good and then there's Mighty Fine. Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes.
KMAX Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, think of the Congress Avenue Bridge Bat Colony. Okay, folks, here they come. They're flying out from under the bridge. They appear to be Louisville Sluggers, and they're falling. Oh, the humanity! As God is my witness, I thought bats could fly. Bringing your teams to you since 2003 without dropping the ball or the bat. We are KMAX Sports.
Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes is from right here in Austin. As you know, Austin has several fine burger establishments. That's why we're especially proud that Zagat has rated Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes the #1 burger in Austin. So is it Zagat or Zagat's? Like I said, there are several good burger places here in Austin. But as you know, there's good and then there's mighty fine. Mighty fine burgers, fries, and shakes.
And we welcome you back to Leo Buckley Stadium, rainy Leo Buckley Stadium, as we're at halftime, 36-6. The home team, Killeen Kangaroos, lead the your Vista Ridge Rangers. As again, it's been a turnovers and just a line of scrimmage for Killeen, dominating both offensively and defensively. And again, some key Vista Ridge turnovers, 3 fumbles in the first half. Takes us to a 36-6 halftime lead for Killeen. And next week is the start of district play for both teams. Killeen will open up against Waco Midway in 12-6-8 here at Buckley Stadium next week. Vista Ridge will end their beginning of the season road trip as we head to Dragon Stadium in Round Rock to play the McNeil Mavericks, and McNeil losing to Del Valle 36-33. In week 1, they'll face Leander Glenn tomorrow night at Gupton Stadium, and then Austin and Westwood 1-0. Vandergrift will face Killeen Ellison at home. Tomorrow night, Stony Point will be over here in the Killeen area to play against Harker Heights. And Vista Ridge McNeil start a district play, so, you know, the way everything's going in Round Rock, you know, all the games being canceled or postponed for tomorrow night, I think Coach Vincent and Coach Searcy here, they want to get this game in because, again, a game and a half is not that much to prepare for a district schedule, especially at 8-game district schedule. No, it really isn't. And you're getting a chance to see, to some degree, what you've got on both sides of the ball, but you want to get this all the way through. You want to get reps for players who may be sitting second and third on the depth chart as well, because you need to get that experience in as you prepare for district play. And then, you know, obviously tomorrow night you get the opportunity to go scout your upcoming opponent as well, as you know, these two schools, they're both their next week's opponents playing tomorrow night. So I don't expect to see a cancellation of this game going forward, given what we're seeing with the weather. Potentially a running clock, though, given the current score. And then the end of the district schedule, Stony Point is at Leander, Cedar Ridge is at Vandergrift, Hendrickson at Westwood, and Round Rock has the first open date in the 19th district. And boy, that's Cedar Ridge at Vandergrift. You know, that's going to be a great opener. And you know, can Cedar Ridge still continue that magical season that they had, you know, last year, continue it this year? And then Vandergrift, I mean, that team, I think, is for real. They did it in 25-6A last year, and you know, this is the first time they've matched up against these Round Rock schools, so it's going to be interesting. It's definitely the highlight game as we look ahead to the schedule, but it is going to be interesting just to see what Vandergrift continues to do. They certainly made a statement in week 1. You don't expect much less from them in that system, the way the Vipers play, but I know we'll be watching that score closely. I'm very interested to see how that game plays out. We've got Killeen, Ellison, Harker Heights, Temple, Belton, Waco Midway, and 3 other schools here that escaped me here in 12-6A. So Temple, a big win over Cedar Ridge last week. And Killeen here is going to be fighting for a playoff spot. It's Shoemaker and Miss Copper's Cove is also in this district along with Killeen. So the 19th district, and it's going to be a long district schedule for both of these teams here this year. Vista Ridge is in trouble here though at halftime, 36-6. As we're halfway through halftime here, and again, no band performing here because of the weather. The turf is a little bit slick, and there's some lightning around us. So not sure again. We're going to have to wait and see what the referees, the UIL, have to say about tonight. And we're still waiting on word to see if Cedar Ridge and Cedar Park are going to continue tonight. As we mentioned, Round Rock Belton at Belton tomorrow night. Hendrickson, Smithson Valley canceled. No makeup date for them yet. So we're going to go ahead and take another break. We're about 6.5 minutes away from the start of the third quarter. It's Vista Ridge Rangers football right here on the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
Mighty fine burgers. Shakes is from right here in Austin. As you know, Austin has several fine burger establishments. That's why we're especially proud that Zagat has rated Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes the #1 burger in Austin. So is it Zagat or Zagat's? Like I said, there are several good burger places here in Austin. But as you know, there's good and then there's mighty fine. Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes.
KMAX Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, think of the Congress Avenue Bridge Bat Colony. Okay, folks, here they come. They're flying out from under the bridge. They appear to be Louisville Sluggers, and they're falling. Oh, the humanity. As God is my witness, I thought bats could fly. Bringing your teams to you since 2003 without dropping the ball or the bat. We are KMAX Sports.
In the battle for barbecue supremacy, warriors pit prime meats, secret sauces, and recipes against one another. Yet one champion stands alone. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, in the modern-day vernacular, where bad means good. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue has the worst barbecue in Texas.
KMAX Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, think of the state capitol if it was full of sports. I mean, the Rotunda's more than large enough for basketball or volleyball, and let's face it, anything we do in there is going to be better than what's going on right now. Plus, those guys only work every 2 years. We bring your teams to you every doggone day. Bringing your teams to you since 2003. We are KMAX Sports.
1, 2, 3, hit! More coverage of your high school teams. Let's just say we keep it real.
And you know this, man!
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes is from right here in Austin. As you know, Austin has several fine burger establishments. That's why we're especially proud that Zagat has rated Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes the #1 burger in Austin. So is it Zagat or Zagat's? Like I said, there are several good burger places here in Austin. But as you know, there's good and then there's mighty fine. Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes.
Sound off. Tell us what you think right here on Twitter at KMAX Sports.
Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes is from right here in Austin. As you know, Austin has several fine burger establishments. That's why we're especially proud that Zagat has rated Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes the #1 burger in Austin. So is it Zagat or Zagat's? Like I said, there are several good burger places here in Austin. But as you know, there's good and then there's mighty fine. Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes.
In the battle for barbecue supremacy, warriors pit prime meats, secret sauces, and recipes against one another. Yet one champion stands alone. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, in the modern-day vernacular, where bad means good. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue has the worst barbecue in Texas.
And both teams are back out on the field here at Killeen, Texas. Johnny Baez and Nicholas Peters, Gabriel Gomez, and Rosie Vega here with Rangers football right here on the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network. It's a 36-6 halftime score. And looks like we're going to have another 24 minutes of football, Nick. So what do you think Coach Vincent told his team here at halftime?
I hope he told them it's regroup time. Knowing Coach Vincent, I'm assuming that's what he said to them. That, let's just forget about that first half. Let's play Vista Ridge football here in the second half. Let's pretend this game is 0-0 and go after them. Not like we're trying to just make a comeback, but that we're trying to get our game established before we hit district play.
And you don't try to change anything that you don't even try to change who you are down 36-6. You start working on the same things and maybe start working on stuff for next week as for McNeil. But Killeen scored 36 points in the first half. Doesn't mean Vista Ridge can't do it too. So still 24 minutes of football.
You're right, and it's a lot about the little things too. We saw a few times players out of position. Again, we're digging into the depth here for Vista Ridge on defense. A lot of guys who haven't seen the field much are having to play tonight due to some injuries, and on offense, just really coaching up that offensive line. If we're going to establish a run, they're the ones that have to pave the way. And so far tonight, they haven't been able to get any progression or any push against this giant Killeen Kangaroo defensive line.
And another thing, this is Vista Ridge is going to be on defense first here in the third quarter. So right off out of halftime, they get to implement what Coach Vincent told them at halftime and see if they can come up with a big stop and just try to get some momentum going for next week and try to work on some things and just get a little bit of confidence right now. And again, 3 turnovers in the first half is not going to help. And right now, we've got 24 minutes of football left here before they start district play. We're seconds away from third quarter kickoff. Again, next week we'll be at Dragon Stadium to face the McNeil Mavericks, who play tomorrow night against Leander Glenn. Leander Glenn, part of that 5A Division II 11 5A district, playing their first varsity game tomorrow night. It's got to be a big moment for them, for the kids in that game out there, being the first football team they field to play a varsity football game.
Absolutely.
In the history of their school.
It's got to be a huge moment. I'm sure it's going to be an emotional night for the kids as well as for the parents and anyone who's a part of that football team, inclusive of the Booster Club. We know how well our Booster Club takes care of us here at Vista Ridge, but everyone tomorrow night is going to be, I'm sure, experiencing some significant emotion heading into the game for the very first time, getting to put on those jerseys. And well, I'm sure they've been doing it all through fall practice, but now go hit somebody else.
Now 5 schools now in Leander ISD and 5 schools in Round Rock. When I came to this area, it was only Cedar Park and Leander. Now you have Rouse, Glenn, Vandergrift, and Vista Ridge, and then you add Cedar Ridge into the mix for Round Rock. Cedar Ridge, Westwood, McNeil, Round Rock, and Stony Point. So 10 high schools
in a very small space.
Right, and just shows you the growth and the way it has taken away from some of the dominant football teams in the past, like Stony Point, Leander, as different rezoning is causing a hurt. Some of the talent some of these schools had before, and one that benefited the most was Cedar Ridge. It's only second, third year, fourth year they're playing in varsity football, and they've already made it to a state semifinal game.
Absolutely, and you look even to the Pflugerville schools, and I would say that the other flip side of that is Hendrickson. With all the new development, it ultimately resulted in the building of that high school.
Weiss was the first district game, varsity game last week. So you got Weiss, Connolly, Pflugerville, and Hendrickson. And Hendrickson, the only 6A school out of there. Pflugerville drops down to 5A. Connolly's in 5A. Weiss is 5A Division II. So a lot of growth just north of Austin as Hughes gets ready to kick this off to start the third quarter. Back dig is Dormius, and he's going to be the one fielding the kickoff. He's at the 10, to the 15, to the 20. He tries to get the corner, but nice job out there and sealing that corner for Vista Ridge. Tackle made, special team by Colton Stahl, 44. Again, defensively, we expect Devin Kloss, Rashid Dowdell, Luke Horn up front, Christian, Miller, Robertson, and Carter, the linebackers. Allen, Jones, White, and Janda in the defensive backfield. It's Walter Anderson at left defensive end right now as he swapped with Luke Horn, and now Horn is chasing down the line of scrimmage. The football is given to Marshall. Marshall takes it past the 20 to 21, a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6. Offensively, it's Terry and Marshall in the backfield. Receivers is Kemper, Fox, Dormius, Monroe, Taylor, Viatupu, Mendez, Leuma, and Jones up front. And now it's a pass over to the Wide receiver screen, and Jones comes up and makes a great play on Brandon Fox. Loss of 4. They're going to give 4 progress of a yard. It'll be third down and 9. Great play there by Jones.
Great play, and here you go. If you're Vista Ridge and you want to get back in this game quickly, this is where you need to shut the door on the Kangaroo offense and get the ball into your offense's hands.
Rosales, the 5'7", 240-pound fullback, checks in for Coach Searcy and the Kangaroos, and Fox will move over here to the near side in the slot. Now Terry looking to throw. He's going to throw a screen here to Dormius and goes right through the hands of Dormius. But it was well read there by the Rangers. Not sure he would have picked up the first down. So it's a punting situation here for Killeen. Does a nice job of Vista Ridge forcing to 3 it out on Killeen's first possession here in the third quarter.
And again, Luke Horn applying the pressure, forcing the quarterback to have to throw off of his back foot, which is why the ball sailed on Dormius and caused the overthrow. So here we go. An opportunity for Vista Ridge.
Allen got his hands on a punt. Last time Killeen was in this field position, and now White is going to get it on the bounce at his own 42, gets to the right side, turns it upfield at midfield, breaking tackles and gets it into Killeen territory at the 46-yard line. A nice 12-yard return there by Naquan White. First and 10 Rangers. Great field position. They're on the plus side. Territory here. Killeen's 46. And Gandu is going to be in at quarterback along with Ty Mayberry in the backfield. Michael Walter in the slot here to the near side. Webster split wide left. Twin sets. In motion is Walker. He's going to take the handoff. Coming here to the left side. No, Gandu keeps it and nothing doing. Killeen was waiting for it. And it's a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11.
You'd like to see Cantu go ahead and make the handoff there on that play as the lineman had backed up waiting for the fake handoff, determining which direction the play was going to go, but the offensive line was able to seal on the left side, and Mayberry had a lane if they had chosen to take that advantage.
So 2nd and 11. Cantu with Mayberry to his right. Quick throw over here to Walker. Walker right through his hands. Throws it behind Walker. Looks like it was a catchable football. It'll be 3rd down and 11. Incomplete.
Walker running just a standard stop route there, just trying to pick up about 8 to 9 yards if he can, and force the defensive back to back up in zone. Cantu just couldn't get the ball all the way to him.
Little steady rain continues to fall here at Leo Buckley. And now Cantu back deep. Thompson putting the pressure on. Throws behind Walker as Thompson was in the face of Cantu, and there's a flag down here at the 43-yard line. Flag at Webster and Colin Price here battling it out. We'll see what the referee calls. Oh boy, Thompson comes up and just throws an elbow to Cantu as he's running across, putting pressure on him. Looks like it's going to be against Vista Ridge, I believe. Ineligible man downfield. Is this Webster lined up wrong, incorrectly?
Yeah, it was just your typical miscommunication on where Webster's supposed to be. If he is backed up off the line of scrimmage, then he's an eligible receiver. But on that play, he was actually lined up on the line, so he was being covered up by another man.
So just a lineup issue there, where they lined up offensively for the Vista Ridge Rangers. Now Hughes comes it to punt. 2 men back for Killeen, and Hughes puts his leg into it, and it's an end-over-end kick, bounces at the 20-yard line. And White, really not paying attention, and did he get possession of it?
He did. I think they're going to mark it down.
Yeah, nice job of Naquan White, finally getting hold of the football and downing it at the 3-yard line. So great coverage there by Vista Ridge. Good punt by Hughes. 44-yard punt. And Killeen starts at their own 3-yard line. Monroe is not going to be at running back for the Kangaroos, along with Terry, the quarterback. James Terry only has 3 touchdown passes so far to 3 different receivers. He's got 1st and 10 from his own 3-yard line. 9:38 to go, third quarter. 36-6 lead for the Kangaroos. Monroe with a handoff, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage. Again, great penetration by Vista Ridge, and that's Dowdell on the tackle up. No, it's Anderson. Anderson having himself a heck of a game here in Killeen. He's filling in for Sebastian Barrett.
No gain, we'll see 2nd and 9.
And now another handoff. Monroe trying to look for some running room. He's trying to bounce off tackles, but gang tackling out of the Vista Ridge Rangers. Anderson in on the tackle. Janda comes in. Also coming in to clean it up is 24, Bryce Christian. Gain of 2, 3rd down, and 8 for Killeen.
Christian coming in, ripping at the football, which is, I'm sure, something that Coach Vincent told his defense at halftime. Hey, when we get a guy and we're holding him up, let's try to get the ball out, get the turnover, and turn this ball back over to the offense.
Now Terry looking to throw, looking to hurt his left side. Is going to go long, and that's going to be incidental contact. Dormius wants a penalty, but it was all incidental. And it's going to be 4th down. Janda with the coverage along with Allen. I think that's a good call, not, being a Vista Ridge broadcast, but yeah, the feet just got tangled up and pass falls incomplete, 4th down.
Yeah, it's really tough to throw that flag. We've seen referees do it, but a great call there by the ref of a no call and just letting that play go. Completely incidental. Feet just getting tangled up as they're running along the sideline next to each other. Allen had no intention of trying to break up the run.
Cut in behind Allen and try to pick up some speed, and punting from his own end zone. And now delay of game unless Killeen calls a timeout.
They do, and Coach Searcy is not happy about it.
I mean, this is something that, this can happen next week in district play when the games start to count. And again, that's another disadvantage of a 9-team district. There's some districts up in Dallas that are 10 teams, and they start district play tonight and tomorrow night.
Exactly. You get into the thick of your schedule with a 9-team district very quickly.
And it's a challenge to all 9 teams, especially Cedar Ridge and Cedar Park, or Cedar Ridge not being able to play tonight. They're thinking about it tomorrow night, making it up tomorrow night, either tomorrow afternoon. Round Rock and Belton has been rescheduled for tomorrow night. They're playing here in Belton. That's a nice field in Belton. From his own end zone, McGee. And it's a little pooch kick over here to the right side, kicks it out of bounds. And now we're going to see where they're going to spot it. That was quick. I thought it was going to be probably about the 24, 25-yard line, but they give us the football at the 29. I think that's a bad spot.
I agree with you. He almost walked past the 30-yard line to mark the ball.
He had to come back and then turn around and look at the referee, and the referee says, okay, enough.
Even the chain gang was trying to mark the ball up closer to the 25-yard line.
Cantu. Drew Cantu back on the field with Ty Mayberry. Twins now. Jones split wide right. Webster here to the left. Cantu drops back, looking. He's going to go deep up the middle, and he was contact in the middle of the field. Ingram, but no call. He was looking for. He was looking for Mayberry or Walter going up the middle, and 2nd and 10.
That's Brown in their quarterback.
Brown, excuse me.
Under duress on that last play, just trying to get it into that one location where receiver was going to be open, and under duress overthrew it.
And the receiver in motion to the right side, Brown. He'll throw the extended handoff. And it is cut out there by Adam Fogg. And quickly, you saw the reaction and the speed of the Killeen defense right there as he comes and make the tackle and drop Adam Fogg for a 1-yard loss. 3rd and 11 from the 30-yard line. Matthew Thomas in at running back. Bryce Jones coming here to the left side. Mayberry's not going to be playing wide receiver and will split wide right. Third and 11 for the Rangers, trailing by 30 points, 36-6, 7.5 to go here, third quarter. The fake to Thomas. throws up the middle, and he was intended for Walter, and Walter covered there by Ingram, forced to make an adjustment on his route. And it's going to bring up 4th and 11. There's a flag down. It's going to be holding against Killeen. They said holding. He looked like he pointed towards Killeen, but it's... Well, he did point towards Killeen, but he said holding White, so it's going to be 4th down and 11 as Coach Searcy declines the penalty. The referee throwing a little bit of misdirection at us. Mr. Ridge going for it on 4th and 11.
Well, you're down
too far for a field goal, too close for a punt. And down by 30. It's a no-brainer, right? Naquan White in the game through the slot here to the left side. He's in motion. And he's going to fake the handoff to White. They're looking deep. You know, they go down the sideline, overthrows. Mayberry was behind his defender, but Brown just a little bit too much air under that one, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. And Killeen football at the 30-yard line. So now Killeen had the ball inside the 20.
Fortunate there for the Vista Ridge Rangers. You've got the play you want. It's a great play call. No one followed White as he ran the wheel route after taking or sidestepping the fake handoff. Just couldn't get the ball to him, and again sails it into the sideline. Ball goes back over to the Roos.
So Cedar Ridge and Cedar Park canceled, postponed tomorrow. The venue TBD, and now Terry flips it to his receiver coming across the field, and nice open field tackle by Elijah Jones. On the carry that time was Tamar Grant, senior defensive back listed on the roster. And a loss of about 3 yards, to the 27. 2nd and 13. Gomez in at running back for Killeen. James Terry still the starting quarterback, still in there. Dormius split wide right, triplets to the left for Terry. Now the blitz, Carter coming in, and great penetration. Colton Stahl. Carter coming around from the left side to make the tackle. Look, Horn on the tackle. Gain of 1, 3rd and 12.
Luke Horn, 55, makes the 55. Short gain is about to go on the play. 3rd and 12. Ball to 28 yards.
So 3rd and 12. Again, triplets to the left side. Dormius all by himself here, and they're going to Dormius, and there's miscommunication right there. Dormius, Terry looking for Dormius to go upfield, and Dormius cuts it off. And it's going to bring up 4th down, the 3rd punt for Killeen here in the 2nd half.
And a great play by Bryce Christian specifically on that one as the quarterback accepted the ball. He was blitzing from the right side. The running back went low to make the block, and he jumped straight over him in an attempt to get the sack, forced the quick pass, which is why Dormius wasn't even looking for the ball. By the time he turned around, the ball was past him.
McGee back to punt. White back deep for Vista Ridge. And coming in up the middle, diving to make the block. But McGee gets it away. And now White again lets the ball bounce and loses about 15 yards of field position as the ball rolls inside the 20 to the 19. Needs to come up and fair catch it.
That's something I'm sure Coach Vincent and the special teams coaches will take a look at as we head into next week before we get to the McNeil game. That's something that's correctable. He's got an opportunity to come up and make the play. He's not going to get hit before he gets to the football. So he's just got to get his arm up and get underneath the ball so it doesn't take a long bounce. This field that we're playing on tonight is very similar to all of the other fields we're going to see in our district.
50-plus yard punt by McGee puts Vista Ridge at their own 19-yard line. Cantu back in at quarterback. Mayberry in motion. He doesn't take the handoff. Cantu up the middle. He's got some running room. He gets it past the 25 to about the 28. That's going to be close to a 1st down. And he got hit as the linebackers introduced themselves to Drew Cantu, excuse me. Ingram on the tackle. And there is some laundry on the field here on the near side, and they're going over to see if Coach Vincent wants the play or the penalty. picked up the first down, or is he about a yard short? Looks like he's about a yard short, right?
I believe, yeah, just a couple of yards short. It looked as though he got about 8 on the play.
I thought he got to about the 28-yard line. That's where the referee is, and I think he's going to go back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be either 1st and 5 or see what they call it, offsides.
I'm not sure why you take the penalty there. You picked up 8 yards on the running play. Yet you accept it. Is it just to get it to 1st down as opposed to 2nd and short?
It could be 2nd and 1. Now it's 1st and 5. So Cantu this time hands it off to Thomas. Thomas over to the right side. Finds some running room. He's at the 30 and is run out of bounds at the 33. And there's a flag down, extra push out of bounds. They're going to tack on 15 yards on this one. I believe that flag's going to go on 46, I believe. 49, excuse me. I think we pushed him out. That's Timothy Twilley. Let's see what the referee says. 72, they called it on. Let's see, a 72. I said 72, right?
That's what he said. That's just referees trying to control the safety. There's no reason to push him further out of bounds. He's already headed out of bounds.
Maybe he looked at a VISTA Ridge uniform with all the players over there. So it's 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. So I guess you do take a 1st and 5. And now a little toss over here to Walker. Walker over the left side, cuts it upfield, trips as he's trying to make his move, but gets it in Killeen territory at the 49-yard line. 3-yard pickup, 2nd and 7. 5:33 left, 3rd quarter. Score still 36-6. Rain still falling. It's kind of like a drizzle now.
Which doesn't help ball security. It makes the ball feel even more slick.
2nd and 7 for the Rangers. And this time it's going to be Mayberry trying to get the corner, cuts it upfield, makes the move. He's at the 45, lowers his shoulder, fights for a 1st down. He's going to be written out of bounds, just about a yard short at the 43-yard line. Be 3rd down and 1 for the Rangers.
And here we go, starting to see some semblance of establishing a left-to-right running game, taking advantage of the speed of Ty Mayberry.
All it takes is just picking up a 1st down. Their confidence, they get some momentum, and now 3rd down and 1. Twins to each side for Cantu and the Rangers. High snap, they're going to hand it off. This time it's a receiver coming across, getting the 1st down. I believe that is Adam Fogg. And they'll move the chains. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line, a 5-yard pickup. Starting defense still in there for the Killeen Kangaroos. 1st and 10. Cantu, Mayberry up the middle, chest it to the outside, but cannot escape. Nice open field tackle there by number 44 for Killeen. That is Amir Ward. Boy, they're big and they're quick along the front. The defensive line there for Killeen. 2nd and 11 and a 1-yard loss there by Mayberry. Webster split left and the triplets to the left side. Cantu looking, quick pass, hits Fogg, and Fogg is going to be brought down, and great tackle there as he would not let go of the jersey. Number 24 for Killeen, that is Michael Joseph. Back up left corner.
Yeah, Michael Joseph making an athletic play there. Fogg looked as though he might be able to spin away and pick up some additional yardage, but
he was picking up a block over here by Webster.
But Joseph wasn't going to let him go. He had a fistful of jersey, and he was going to bring him down any way, shape, or form.
We need to bring back the tearaway jersey. 3rd down and 8 from the 35-yard line. Mayberry gets the handoff, finds it open to the left side, turns on the jet, spins and hurdles a defender and a would-be tackler. What a great move there by Mayberry, and he picks up a 1st down inside the 25 to the 24. Coming in low was the defensive back, number 15. That is Taului Sataki, and boy, Mayberry just jumped over him.
He did. He made an incredible play and a great block up front. Not sure exactly who made the block, but he stayed waiting behind his left guard. And as soon as he got forward, Mayberry simply followed him into open field.
So 1st and 10 Rangers at the 24-yard line. Nice drive here for the Rangers so far. Thomas gets the handoff over the left side and just carries a Killeen defender for about 4 yards. So I'm going to give him 3.
You know, the big guys up front don't get a lot of credit. I want to make sure we give credit where credit's due. That was Daryl Turner opening up the big hole for Mayberry on that last play. And here we're starting to see the offensive line congeal and get some push on this giant
They're doing it on the ground
line
here too. So Carlos Thomas on the tackle. Now Mayberry in motion. He's going to take the handoff. Gets to the outside, trying to find some running room. Fumbles, and now ball falls. And what are they calling here?
I think they're going to call Mayberry down.
Either that or it looks like they're going to call him down at about the 17-yard line. A break there for the Rangers. And now Mayberry will head to the sideline, and Hegbert comes in for number 2.
Well, Mayberry was a recipient of a big
now
hit
the
on that
referees
play.
are discussing it. As they go talk to Coach Vincent, and is there a flag? I don't see a flag. They give him 7 yards on that carry. 3rd down and 3. Coach Searcy saying it's Killeen football. And now they're going to explain to Coach Searcy what the call was on the field. Just announced Vista Ridge football, 3rd down.
A huge break there for the Rangers. It did not look to me that he was down on the turf, but maybe he was able to get a leg down before that ball came out.
Cantu, Thomas, and Fogg in the backfield. It's going to be Adam Fogg, and he's going to be caught behind the line of scrimmage. That is Carlos Thomas again, I believe, number 23 on the stop. Lost all the way back to the 24-yard line from 3rd and 3 to 4th and 9. Not what Vista Ridge wanted there, and they're going to have to go for it. 2 minutes to go here, 3rd quarter. Vista Ridge has a nice drive going, aided by a 15-yard penalty, but some nice, tough running. And a mix of play calling for the Rangers. It's 4th and 9. Cantu rolling out to his right, looking to pass. Throws, and it throws short. Pass intended for Quade Hegbert. Coming in. We'll see Sataki on the blitz, and forces Cantu to throw it earlier than he wanted, and it's a turnover on downs. The second one this half for the Vista Ridge Rangers.
And even if he does complete the pass there, Hegbert is covered up.
He was 5 yards short of the 1st down.
Yeah, and continuing to see some really strong coverage from the Kangaroo defense tonight, aside from the big touchdown pass early in the game where the Rangers were able to exploit the zone. They've just not been able to do it since that point.
Terry with an empty backfield. He's got Rosales in the wing. And now running back comes in. That is Blaze Albino. Senior running back. Get a chance to get some playing time. They're going to run a screen pass, and that time he just throws it into the dirt. Carter was back there. Dowdell. Patrick Reed. Pass intended for Brandon Fox. And a 2nd and 10. Has Killeen picked up the 1st down this 3rd quarter?
I was just asking myself the same question, and I don't think that they have.
So 2nd and 10. Fox in motion, a little flip to Fox, breaks a tackle, but he's going to be dropped in the backfield. Dowdell was back there, White back there.
Luke Horn with the crushing block or crushing tackle on that play. He just jumped on his back and spun him to the ground.
So a loss of 5 back to the 18-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 15 for Killeen. Marshall back in the game, so they bring their starting running back in. Dormius here to the near side. Fox in the slot to the left. Rosales in the wing, and Terry looking, pressure. He's got a little screen pass to Marshall, and Marshall makes a move looking for the first down. He's not going to get it. Nice job to get away from Naquan White. Pursuit got him. In there to make the tackle was Jake Robertson, among others. He's going to bring up 4th down and about 6 after an 8-yard gain. 30 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Naquan White going back to receive this punt. 4th, short 6, long 5 for Killeen. McGee just leg into it now. He's going to run it. He's got the outside. He's going to pick up a first down and a lot more. He's at the 40. He's at midfield. He's in Vista Ridge territory at the 35-yard line. It looks like he was all him that time as he saw the defender come in and dive and takes it all the way 35-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Killeen at the 35-yard line with 8 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
And as you said, JB, just great acknowledgement that he was going to get rushed.
Marshall up the middle, breaks a tackle at the 25, but Cannon Cromas gets enough of his ankle there to trip him up inside the 25. It's a first down after a 12-yard gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Killeen driving. As we get to the 4th, it's 36-6. Advantage Killeen. Vista Ridge Rangers football right here on the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
KMAX Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, think Mopac Improvement Project. Except we're always on budget, our price never fluctuates, and we're always on time. I mean, are they ever gonna finish this thing? Right this very second, I'm stuck northbound at 5th Street. Bringing your teams to you since 2003. We are KMAX Sports.
1, 2, 3, hit! More coverage of your high school teams. Let's just say we keep it real.
And you know this, man.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
Killeen, after a fake punt, has it 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line after Marshall's 12-yard run to pick up a first down. As we head to the final 12 minutes here from Leo Buckley, a 36-6 game. Little stack formation over to the right side. Terry still in at quarterback. Marshall is going to get the carry up the middle. Fine, looking for some running room and driving his feet. And Vista Ridge trying to strip the ball. Gets it to the 16-yard line. A 7-yard pickup. 2nd down and 3. Again, quickly, Marshall gets the football, but this time nowhere. They strip it, but what a lucky bounce, and Vista Ridge says they have it. But Darius Marshall, yes, Vista Ridge forces the turnover, and they have the football. Is that Stahl with the football? So Colton Stahl recovered it. Not sure who stripped it, but they've been trying to do that all night, and finally pays off as Marshall, 2nd fumble of the night for Kangaroos.
That was Darian Carter, JB, who we saw have an incredible game last week. Having a really strong game here tonight as well. He's been all over the field chasing the ball down. That time just busts through the offensive line, able to get his hands on the running back and rip the ball out.
So 1st and 10, Vista Ridge, a big turnover. And they have it at their own 22-yard line. Killeen, a little confusion on defense, as they only got, 10 men on the field? Finally running in is Brendan Song, an offensive lineman listed on the roster. Ends up at nose guard. Brown throws, caught, the 27. 5-yard pickup, nice job there by Walter. Michael Walter with the reception. So like Mr. Rich will hurry up and try to just they line up triplets here to the left side. Walter, Walker here in the slot to the left side. They're going to hand it off. Mayberry looking for some running room at the 30-yard line. Breaks a tackle, spins to the 32. That's going to be close to a first down. Boy, some tough running by Ty Mayberry. And he's always running full speed even when he makes his cuts.
It's amazing how fast he gets to full speed. Absolutely, he can go from stop to go in a hurry. And as you pointed out, in terms of the hurry-up offense here, Vista Ridge, if you're down 30 points, the clock is your enemy. Being in the fourth quarter, and we're close to going to hit 10 minutes left to go in this game.
They mark him just short, maybe half a yard, so 3rd and short here for Vista Ridge at their own 32-yard line. Malcolm 2 is going to hand it to Mayberry on the left side. He's got a first down and some more at the 40-yard line down to the 41. First down, Vista Ridge. Needed 1, got 10. 10-14 to go.
That's Kyle Brown back in at quarterback, JB, as Vista Ridge
Brown,
continues
yes.
to go between Cantu and Brown. Brown being your more traditional passing quarterback. We'll see if they try to open up things through the air going forward.
Tristan Little riding up here to the near side for the Rangers. Triplets to the right. And now Brown looking, sees a receiver on the left side. Throws caught. Is that Juan Aguirre? 25 out there making the catch. Excuse me, that's Jordan Rebster. Thought I saw 25. Bastrop beating Reagan tonight, 61-3. The only other score here tonight on Thursday night here in Central Texas. 61-3. Bastrop Bears winners. And now they're going to hand it off to Mike Mayberry, and right there, making the stop and nowhere to go. Twilly making the tackle and slinging Mayberry to the ground. A loss all the way back to the 49-yard line. Bring up. They're down in 10.
He was back there so fast, it would be that.
Yeah, he was.
Regardless,
he was the one waiting for the handoff.
Regardless of who had the ball, he was going to make the tackle.
Webster now lined up here to the right side. Thomas in the backfield for Vista Ridge. Brown will take the snap. Straight drop back, looking to throw, looking downfield. He's going to go long, and again the receiver, Mayberry, just cut off his route. And the pass is overthrown. Bring up 4th down, 4th and 10. 41-yard line. Back to punt. Josh Weaver back to receive the punt. And he's joined over there by Hisataki. Hughes gets it off. A high punt. Fair catch by Hisataki. Bobbles it, but falls on it at the 26-yard line. 8:28 to go here from Killeen. Kangaroos lead it 36-6. No score here in the second half. All the scoring done in the first half, most of the second quarter.
Folks might be wondering why punt there on 4th and 10. If you're Coach Vincent, it makes no sense to give your opponent the ball at your own 40-yard line if you don't convert the first down, but rather go ahead and try to play field position here and see if your defense can't get yet another stop and possibly get the ball back with better field position.
So Killeen takes over here at their own 26-yard line, 1st and 10. Terry still in at quarterback. Marshall still in at running back over the right side. Cuts it upfield. Is in the open at the 45. He's at midfield at the 40. At the 20, down the sideline he goes. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Roos. 74 yards. Nice blocking over there on the right side, and some nice running and great speed by Marshall. And takes it 74 yards. For a touchdown. 42-6, Killeen.
You just had to say it, didn't you? With all the scoring in the first half.
You know, I just call what I see. Extra point by Solis makes it 43-6. You say that's number.
I'm just looking for someone to blame, JB.
With 8:14 in the fourth quarter, Killeen, 53 yards, one play. Marshall doing all the work on that one. Makes it 43-6. So you were talking about, Stony Point and his team last week. Well, it was a season opener, so it was they were both trying to get their rhythm, trying to see what they had, and establish some kind of a rotation of starters and all that. And I believe Coach Searcy had a lot of experience coming back from last year. Looks like they're ready for district play.
There's not much for him to not like about tonight.
A lot of size in here, Killeen. A lot of size, a lot of speed. Mr. Ridge has shown signs of being able to move the football, but they just cannot sustain it. Looks like Killeen also has a lot of depth. And looking to be ready for midway next week as they start 12-6-8 play. Again, Mr. Ridge right now still has to work on some things. This is only the second game of the year, and their whole season is still ahead of them. They start district play at Dragon Stadium next week against McNeil. Foxhole Culinary Tavern, Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries and Shakes, Randall Jones and Associates, Schlutsky's, Summerwood Coffee, Mr. Rich Family Dentistry, and Zaxby's. Sponsors Mr. Rich Rangers football, along with Elder Mitsubishi, our title sponsor. And there's Naquan White, I believe, bringing the football back on the kickoff return. Excuse me, that's Allen, brings it over to the 32-yard line, about a 20-yard return. We'll bring up 1st and 10, Vista Ridge. Flag down. We have an offsides here against Killeen. Flag is sitting at the 39-yard line on Killeen's side of the field. Brown has been getting a lot of snaps here in this game for Vista Ridge, with Drew Cantu back in there at quarterback. Mayberry's still in there. Walker now. The split out wide right. Walter. As the ball is moved up to the 40-yard line. Turner. Gerasi. Hoffman. Meyer. Over the Vista Ridge offensive line. First and 10, Vista Ridge from the 37-yard line. And as Mayberry over the right side, he's got some running room. Hurdles a defender again and falls forward to the 42-yard line. Jumped over the safety.
Again, Ty Mayberry showing off that athleticism. Stopped on a dime to leap over the defender.
It's Brown. Is that 29? That's 29. Richmond Hazel, the senior defensive back, trying to hit Mayberry low, and he jumps over him, and Mayberry gains 5 yards. 2nd and 5. He's not an offensive line. Again, it's going to be Thomas up the middle. Finds some running room. Stumbles his way to midfield for a first down. 8-yard pickup. Avery Allen, the left tackle. Offensive lineman there. Gerasi's the center. Right tackle is Jake Hoffman. Darrell Turner, the right guard. Turner's the left guard. We've got Aiden Meyer, the right guard. Now Cantu Hands it off. This time there's no running room. It's handed off to Rashad Haynes, junior. Loss of 1, second and 11 from the Mr. Rich 49. 6:39 to go, fourth quarter. 43-6 Killeen. Darius Marshall, 3 touchdowns rushing, 1 on a screen pass. 4 touchdowns total for the Killeen running back. Right now, Haynes and Brown in the backfield for the Rangers. Walker here to the right side. Double tight end set, and now delay of game. Too much time. Austin Hale is in at tight end. Like Coach Vincent called a timeout before that delay of game.
I think, we're starting to see and hear some of these names that we don't get to hear so often. They were having some trouble getting lined up in that double tight end set that looked like Mr. Rich wanted to employ there.
Bastrop, the only game that got completed here tonight. 61-3 winners over Reagan. Round Rock Belton has been postponed for tomorrow night. They'll be playing at Belton. Cedar Park, Cedar Ridge postponed for tomorrow night. Not sure where they'll play. We're still waiting on the venue. Playoff atmosphere already, huh? And Smithson Valley and Hendrickson was canceled, and haven't heard of a makeup game for them. Here it's 2nd and 11, an empty set here for Vista Ridge. Walker is in motion. He's going to fake it to him. And that is Brown. That's Cantu into the game. Carries it to about the 45, a 6-yard pickup. Bring up 3rd down and 5. That's Tristan Little. Adam Fogg check into the game. Messner is in there. So is Michael Walter. Rashad Haynes. Getting some burn here at running back. And 2. Walter in motion to the left. It's going to be Haynes with the football going out to the left side, trying to get the corner. Stiff arms his way. Spins, but nothing. Nice job there of stretching it out there by the Killeen defense. Malusky. Lead number 25.
Well, it's Mark Grant from the safety position coming up to help make the tackle, showing off again some of this speed and athleticism for Killeen as he got there in a hurry to shut down that run.
So 4th down after a loss of 1, 4th and 6. Under 5 minutes to go here in game number 2 in the sandwich game on a 3-game road trip here to start the season for Vista Ridge. Cantu rolling out to his right, looking, throws. He's got a receiver off the hands of Tristan Little. That would have been a great catch, but a nice throw by Cantu on the run as he was running out of real estate, almost going out of bounds, and throws it back against his body and off the hands of Tristan Little, and it's a turnover on downs. It'll be Killeen football at the 46-yard line. That would have been a heck of a play by both quarterback and receiver.
Absolutely, Cantu just trying to make a play there, just trying to get a first down, wanting to have something to hang your hat on in terms of momentum to close out this game. And he got it to him. It was perfectly thrown. Little just couldn't bring it in.
So 1st and 10 for Killeen. It's Terry still in at quarterback and hands it to Monroe. He's hit, bounces off a tackle, still on his feet, trying to get to the outside. He's got the outside, a flag down, 2 flags down. Monroe still on his feet, finally brought down at the 41-yard line. But it's going to come back as they're going to get Luke Noon, the senior wide receiver, with an illegal block in the back. Maybe an illegal blindside hit, not sure what they're going to call. Nice run. Did not see who got penetration there. I believe that was that Patrick Reed coming up there that hit Monroe first. But it's all going to come back. Nice effort by Monroe. Luke Moon trying to make a block to spring his running back, get him to the outside. Got caught. It's a block in the back.
Well, when you do it in the open field, as my coach has always told me, the referee's always going to see it, and that was about as blatant and clear as you could.
And if it's close, they're still going to call it. So 1st and 25. Terry and Monroe in the backfield. Twins to the right side, and they're going to hand it off to Monroe. This time to the right side and shooting the gap that time defensively. That is Bryce Christian with the stop. So it looks like Vista Ridge knows that Killeen's going to try to run it. Loss of 2 more, 2nd down and 27. Approaching 4 minutes to go.
We've seen Bryce Christian make a couple of big plays here tonight, showing off some athleticism.
Walter Anderson, Joseph Park both playing defensive end. Dowdell, the nose tackle for Vista Ridge. Now Terry, he's going to throw to the left side. It's going to be caught at the 40-yard line. Just a short pass out there, caught by Trayvon Ohana, 31. Get about 8. Makes it 3rd and about 16.
It looked as though he got out of bounds, but we see the clock is still running.
No, he didn't get. He landed in bounds. Probably the slick field kind of skidded him out of bounds, but it's 3 minutes to go. Terry rolling out to his left, still looking to throw on 3rd down and long. And he's going to tuck it and just run out of bounds, and I don't think Coach Searcy wanted that. Nice coverage in the secondary, and nice pursuit there by Jay White. He's going to bring up 4th down after a 1-yard gain by Terry. 4th and 15. McGee back to punt. And now it looks like Mr. Ridge will probably be a little bit more careful in rushing the punter. That's White. Goes back to the 30-yard line. Wait for this kick or this punt. And McGee this time just left foot into the football and bounces at the 40-yard line, takes a sideways bounce towards the Vista Ridge sideline and goes out of bounds at the 39-yard line. So Vista Ridge with 2:49 to go in a 43-6 game. We'll have it offensively here at their own 39-yard line. Zaxby's, when it comes to football, everyone knows they can count on Coach Vincent to put the best product on the field. When it comes to chicken, Coach knows that he can count on Zaxby's to consistently put the best product on his plate. Indescribably good chicken fingers, wings, salads, and sandwiches. Stop by Zaxby's, next to Walmart on the corner of 1431 in Ronald Reagan. Zaxby's, the official chicken of your Vista Ridge Rangers. Receiver set to each side for Vista Ridge. Brown in at quarterback and hands it off and running hard. We have a new running back in there. That is Anthony Roldan. Picks up about 8, 2nd and 2. Is it Roldan? Put an emphasis on it.
I'm going to say Roldan.
Also in the backfield is Asana Sissoko. And he's going to get the carry. Gets it to the outside. And the flag down and is upended at midfield, but it's going to be a 1st down. They celebrate the tackle, but it's going to be a change if the play stands. But there's a flag down. And this guy making the tackle is 35.
Devontae Beasley, who's only 5'6", 140. He's given up about 6 inches to the big tailback.
35 or 33? I'm not sure that number. David Pena, still 5'6", 130.
I was going to say they're the same size.
Not much difference, but it's going to be holding. So it's going to be 2nd down and about 12 after the 10-yard penalty. 2:08 to go here, 4th quarter from Leo Buckley. Spencer Rudd is in at running back for Vista Ridge. Braxton Smith in at right tackle. And it's going to be Rudd getting the carry, and he's going to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe lost a half a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and long for Vista Ridge. Jarosi's still in there. Peyton Myers still at right guard. Jarosi's still at center. Turner still at left guard. Don and Sissoko at running back. Michael Morrow in at wide receiver, and he's in motion to the left side. And they're going to hand it off to Roldan over the left side. Gets the corner, cuts it upfield, and he's going to have a first down for Vista Ridge. Nice run there by Roldan. He didn't waste any time. Full speed all the way as soon as he got the handoff. Was able to pick up first down for Vista Ridge with 60 seconds left here in game number 2.
Running hard, and for guys like Roldan who don't get to see the field as much, this is your opportunity to put some things on the film and tape for your coaches to possibly get you in and get you some reps in the games as we get into this replay.
Andrew Worthington in at receiver here to the right side. Murrow split left. And no flag. There's an offsides, and now they toss it, and it's going to be breaking tackles and heading for the yard, and that's Roldan. Just fighting for yardage all the way down to the 36-yard line, 14-yard pickup. But a flag down here at midfield. That's going to be offsides against Killeen.
Yeah, they were clearly in the neutral zone on that play.
That was Spencer Rudd with a carry. 7 looked a lot like 32. 40 seconds left. 1st and 10, Vista Ridge at Killeen's 36-yard line. Brown trying to engineer a last-minute scoring drive for Vista Ridge. And they hand it off to Roldan over the left side, cuts it upfield at the 30, lowers his shoulder and just bowls his way to the 25-yard line. Clock stopped as the chains moves. 1st and 10 after a 12-yard gain. Keep running that play until they stop it, right? Just toss left. Nice blocking up front. Joseph Park, Darrell Turner on the left side. And this time it's going to be Rudd to the left side. Cuts it upfield, finds running room, back to the middle, lunges, and is that a first down? And
I think they're going to mark him just short, JB.
And the clock moves with 12 seconds left. Vista Ridge, 8 seconds. Wanting to get a playoff, 4 seconds. They snap it, 2 seconds left. This is the last play of the game, up the middle, incomplete. It was intercepted. It was intercepted off the tip. So the last play ends in an interception. By number 41, I believe.
Yeah, that's Jamari Morris, the senior linebacker.
The interception. It's a final from Leo Buckley, 43-6. Killeen goes to 1-1 in the year. Vista Ridge drops to 0-2. We'll be back to wrap this one up as you're listening to Vista Ridge Rangers football, sponsored by Elder Mitsubishi, right here on KMAX Sports, Vype Media Network.
In the battle for barbecue supremacy, Warriors pit prime meats, secret sauces, and recipes against one another. Yet one champion stands alone. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, in the modern-day vernacular, where bad means good. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue has the worst barbecue in Texas.
KMAX Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, imagine a downtown condo tower, if it was full of sports. But first we'll have to evict the hipsters. Not cool, man. Not cool. But don't worry about them. They won't starve. There's plenty of food trailers left on Rainy Street. Oh, what's that? They ran them all out? Aw, poor hipsters. Bringing your teams to you since 2003. We are KMAX Sports.
Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes is from right here in Austin. As you know, Austin has several fine burger establishments. That's why we're especially proud that Zagat has rated Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes the #1 burger in Austin. So is it Zagat or Zagat's? Like I said, there are several good burger places here in Austin. But as you know, there's good and then there's Mighty Fine. Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes.
KMAX Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, think of the state capitol if it was full of sports. I mean, the Rotunda's more than large enough for basketball or volleyball, and let's face it, anything we do in there is going to be better than what's going on right now. Plus, those guys only work every 2 years. We bring your teams to you every doggone day. Bringing your teams to you since 2003. We are KMAX Sports.
Baeza, Nicholas Peters, Gabriel Gomez, and Rosie Vega, and we're the only show in town so far tonight here on Thursday night, as other games got canceled, postponed due because of Mother Nature, and Vista Ridge drops 143-6 here, the final, and you know it was a 14-0 quickly at Marshall and company for Killeen, jumped up to a 14-0 lead. Vista Ridge comes back with a Brown to Webster touchdown pass, and it's a 14-6 game. And then after that, turnovers just hurt the Vista Ridge Rangers, and they gave Killeen a pretty nice cushion at the half, 36-6.
Yeah, and again, not taking advantage of opportunities as they get a big stop right after going, bringing the game within 8 points. We talked about that at halftime. And the spotting them the points was, again, due to mistakes, a number of turnovers by Vista Ridge. And then defensively, not being able to get some key stops on offense, just not being able to move the ball. The size and speed of this Kangaroo defense was showing off tonight.
And Kadarius Marshall with 4 touchdowns here tonight, 3 rushing, 1 via the pass. Mayberry with 3 touchdown passes to three different receivers. James Terry with 3 touchdown passes to 3 different receivers. And Killeen just showed their size, their quickness, and just overall athletic ability here tonight in a rainy night here at Leo Buckley Stadium, and improved to 1-1. And they face Midway next week in the first game of their district play. And they corrected some things they didn't do against Stony Point, and that says a lot about Stony Point holding to only 14 points.
Absolutely, as we saw what I would describe as a very exciting offense. They show you a lot of looks. I counted 8 total different looks to the offense, where they're running a variety of different plays. They're not running just one play out of any look that they have. And they had Vista Ridge confused. So you saw a team correct a lot of the mistakes that they experienced last week. And then obviously Vista Ridge did some good things. I mean, this is when you build on the positive. If you're Coach Vincent, I'm sure he's going to harp on that as we get into next week. Talk to them about the things that they did well, that did right, the defense specifically, and then find ways to fix some of the issues that they're experiencing on offense. As it seems there are some key plays that we've seen Vista Ridge run over the last several years that worked quite well, and all of a sudden they're just not working. And I'm sure they're going to diagnose exactly what the issues are and hopefully get them fixed before we head to McNeil.
Yeah, McNeil will be the next stop. Will be Dragon Stadium as Vista Ridge opens this season with 3 games away from Gupton Stadium. And McNeil will be tomorrow night against Glenn. They're 0-1 in the season, losing a close one, 36-33 last week to Del Valley. But tonight, Drew Cantu and Kyle Brown also had some great games. But I think they had, it was just the size of Killeen up front that kind of disrupted the Vista Ridge offense, and they were just having to fight for every little yard they got.
Agree. They're a bit outmanned, absolutely. It was interesting to see both Kyle Brown and Cantu get plenty of reps. It was almost as if they split reps tonight. So it'll be interesting to see what the coach's decision is as we head into district play as to which one of them is going to be the key starter, or if the Vista Ridge plan is to go with a 2-quarterback system, one guy who's a dual threat and can really hurt the opponent utilizing his legs, versus a quarterback who is predominantly a drop-back passer and is probably the more accurate of the two.
And based on the way Vista Ridge plays, I think the weather probably gave Vista Ridge more problems here tonight than it did Killeen, because of the size of the offensive line. Killeen's able to run the football, and Vista Ridge likes to run the football, but they like to spread things out. And probably the weather gave them a bit of trouble. And also, I think the positive comes out that if you're looking for a final dress rehearsal for district play, you got to see a lot of players. And at the very end, you saw Roldan, you saw Rudd, you saw them coming up there and just start, hey, that's their opportunity. So they're going to come out there and they're going to play hard, and they're going to make, try to make the coaches, force the coaches into a decision for next week. So, that's a positive for Vista Ridge, and, that's something they can look at and see what how to prepare for McNeil next week.
Absolutely. No, you can't question the effort of a number of the players, really any of the players. Everybody was giving the best effort they had, inclusive the guys that got to come in and get some time that typically don't. So you'd hope that that'll have an impact, but what you do take away from that is it builds some depth. As you talked about, our district this year is going to be grueling. It's not going to be easy regardless of what week we're playing in. And so there are going to be times when you need some of these guys who might be second string, third string to play quite a bit and come in and prove that they can give the effort that they gave tonight.
Another thing you have to look at was a short week. I mean, 3 days to prepare what you have to you normally have 4 days to implement, and Killeen playing at home really had the advantage here tonight. So on that note, we're going to say goodbye from Leo Buckley Stadium here in Killeen, Texas. On behalf of KMAX Sports owner, President Chuck Licata, Sports Director Merle Bertrand, Suna Vintcat, Christina Weber, Gabriel Gomez, great job tonight, Gabriel. I mean, it was tough with the rain and all that stuff that we had here, so appreciate the effort. Nicholas, great job as always. I'm Johnny Baeza. We're going to say goodbye from Leo Buckley Stadium. As we also want to thank our sponsors, Elder Mitsubishi Motors, Foxhole Culinary Tavern, Modern Burgers, Fries and Shakes, Randall Jones and Associates, Lotsky Summer Moon Coffee, Vista Ridge Family Dentistry, Zaxby's, and thank you to the Vista Ridge Football Booster Club. Goodbye from Leo Buckley Stadium. We'll see you next Friday night from Dragon Stadium. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. A lot of football action tomorrow night on KMAX Sports. So if you can't make it out to a stadium, go ahead and go to www.kmaxsports.com and tune in. And you can also listen to the archive of this game, as it'll be up and ready as soon as we sign off. So goodbye from Leo Buckley Stadium. Everybody have a nice weekend, and we'll see you next Friday night.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.